Welcome back to Risen Esports. We're here with week 3 of Rampage League. I'm gonna be here sitting on the analyst desk with Red Tiger and Syncrostia. I wish I could say his name. I'm so sorry.
You're fine.
So how you guys feeling today?
Doing pretty well. Looking forward.
Yep, doing great.
Yeah, but we have a game between BC and 99, whose name does not match the team name, but we're already in picks Dan's a little bit late here, but we got Zaya Uga off the table from BC and Garen and Tristana off from Almost Calculated. So, not sure about the Garen ban, but the other one seemed pretty interesting.
Two pretty safe AD carries off the table. Some picks that you kind of want to pick in Rampage. Pretty good team fighting and have high mobility. And we have Aurelion Soul Lock immediately. That's an interesting pick. Very niche.
Yeah, pretty much just a wave clear roaming bid, so hopefully we'll get to see some cool roams and kills in the side lanes.
You can play around that because it's kind of difficult to set up an Aurelion Soul roam. It's also pretty hard to see one coming, so there's that Misfortune and Graves as well. Fast clear jungler and Misfortune just a safe AD carry with good team fighting.
Yeah, and Graves is the top tier jungler right now. Pretty exciting, and also kind of weird that BC did not ban it in the 2 bans. I'm not sure if that last one is a misban or something, but Graves is going to be very strong with the new jungler being in 8.10. We'll have to see how BC is going to respond to it as the timer ticks down, but they're going to actually pick up the Israel, who has still been strong in this patch.
Ezreal pretty much accounted Misfortune due to the fact that he can just phase shift away from, or arcane shift away from all of the Misfortune poke with the E and the ultimate, but also looks like they might be looking for a jungle pick.
Also, Ezreal has high damage output, which is really nice, especially as compared to how he used to be. He has a lot of late game potential now. Sejuani locked in for DC. Good tank jungler. Might be able to answer the Graves and Galio for the second game.
Yeah, Sejuani does work pretty well in the new jungler, is able to take that Scuttle Crab pretty easily with that permafrost, but 99 going to pick up the first tank with the Galio. That could be top or mid, though it does seem more likely to be in mid lane. So we are in the second ban phase here with Janna and Yasuo being taken out, which is quite interesting with these. I think this is more target bans than anything else.
And the Nest ban.
We are playing on 8.10, so the Scuttle Crab changes are ineffective. We probably will see a smite. A second smite for one of the teams, top both. Should.
Yep, second smite, an emerging meta in the mid lane to try and steal the XP away from the enemy team. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, you do definitely lose out on kind of the combat summon as well, but you also do get a little bit of gold and XP coming from that Scuttle Crab by taking it early with the mid smite, though. I don't know if we'll be seeing that on Galio and Aurelion Soul. Both of them don't really want to be taking the Scuttle Crab. They're going to be more roaming instead of just trying to farm up. So we'll have to see how these mid laners are going to take it.
Is still pretty strong. It can take you straight from level 2 to level 3.
Okay, and Shen.
In its current state, so you could get those roams off earlier if somebody wants to run an unsword spellbook and something.
So I think 99 are either going to pick up an AP support or it's like Shen Galio support because they really have no AP on their team. Maybe a Brand, Vel'Koz could work. Zyra also there, but I have to see because I think they're actually leaving that out to the last pick.
Yeah, 99, they have a lot of 80 damage, but they're also missing a lot more of the consistent damage over the team fight, except for somebody like Graves. So really, if they don't pick a mage support here or a heavy damage support, then they're going to be lacking a lot of damage in the late game.
That Diana pick is quite interesting, especially with an Aurelion Soul picked on the side of BC. I'm not actually quite sure. I mean, there's a few different options. Diana jungle, maybe Sejuani top, or something like that. I'm not sure. What do you guys think?
We have 2 really low range, with the exception of like the Ezreal. Everybody really has pretty short ranges, either melee or...
But,
yeah. It looks like on the side of BC, they're going to be looking more towards trying to engage and go all in, especially with the Diana and the Sejuani, with the Sejuani offering a lot of engage, but now in a Aurelia pick for 99, looking like Shen support.
Yeah, definitely. I really...
The Galio might go full AP.
Yeah, he
That's
does
true.
do a decent amount of AP damage.
It wouldn't be good, but it would be something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we were
Okay,
just
so it looks like it's going to be GP on the side of BC instead of the Diana pick, so that was a mispick.
yeah. So that is going to be going to the top lane, and now we have a lot of damage coming out from BC, and even that tank, and even protection coming out from Soraka. While 99 kind of lacking in AP damage, but do have the dueling potential. Graves and Everly are pretty strong in that, and also the protection of the Misfortune with Galio and Shen. So, two distinct comps that kind of rely on the same thing, and that's just team fighting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but once again, as we talked about earlier, 99 really is lacking a lot of AP damage. Yes, the Galio can go AP, but in those team fights, he's not going to be the one dealing out the most damage. Mostly, he's going to be useful in the early game with his push and his ult in the late game. So we're going to have to look for that later on.
Yeah, definitely seeing how these kind of guys play. BC seems to be more in comfort champions, Aurelion Sol, GP, even Soraka. All champions that are mainly played by people who are comfortable on those, can position well and use them to the full potential. So BC really playing on that comfort, while 99 are just trying to synergize together, work together as a team, use that bullet time for Misfortune and even just dueling potential to take over the early game.
Both teams have pretty good answers to tanks. On either side, Galio, damage shouldn't be a problem for it. Probably just come down to execution.
Yeah, we all.
Yeah, it does look like on the side of BC, they're going to look more towards late game T fighting, considering the fact that they have a GP in the top lane and Ezreal in the bottom lane, and a really strong tank in the jungle with Sejuani. So both of these teams, it seemed like they're going to be looking towards more team fighting in the later stages, but 99 also has the ability to do a lot of split pushing with the Aurelia and Gallia, who can match the roams.
Yeah, something else to watch out for is these kind of jungle pathings. It's very different in 8.10, especially Sejuani Graves. Both of them, I think we're probably going to see some action here in the very early game over maybe a Scuttle Crab or maybe some invades. Let's see if these guys are going to be like invading in the very early game and trying to get information so they can harass the enemy jungler, which is pretty important so you can put them behind. So yeah, we have a slight delay. We'll see what happens in the result, but in the meanwhile, we'll keep on waiting.
Jungler is having internet troubles or something along those lines, so that should be fixed relatively quickly. DC probably will be playing towards the bot side. Soraka can become irrelevant fairly quickly, and so you kind of want to get that lead as well as you don't mind the lead. Being able to stack up that first tier and build tier.
Yeah, something to keep in mind is that Soraka in the later game, whenever Aurelia tries to engage, can essentially shut down the Aurelia with the silence. So whenever the Aurelia dashes in, Soraka can just put the silence down, and then Aurelia basically can just sit there and auto-tech and then get murdered by the backline from BC. So that'll be interesting to look out for as well.
Yeah,
Any
I mean,
guesses as to the support for 99? Shen support? Galio support?
I do think
MSI
Shen
saw
support.
Aurelia?
I do think Shen support's more plausible, probably the best out of all of them. The things that we've actually seen out of most games. I mean, I'm all up for like a Graves smokescreen max first, you know. Support.
Yeah, it's most likely going to be Shen support. In theory, it could be something like Aurelia mid with Galio support, but most likely we're going to see Shen in the bottom lane.
I want to see how he fares against Israel Soraka, because that's not really a lane that you can get on. Like, Shen's taunt is not going to reach far enough to like probably catch out either one of them. Soraka just silences him while Israel just arcane shuts away. So I kind of want to see how Shen is going to be basically trying to get on this bot lane and take advantage of Misfortune poke.
Yeah, it'll definitely be difficult.
If 99 can play the side lanes as well, I mean, it's Rampage, so side lanes like that are notoriously difficult. But if they do, they have two global, or one global and one near global in Galio and Shen. So they can potentially pull some pressure to the sides and then turn it into a very quick 5 versus 3 and take some team fights.
Yeah, also thinking in kind of a big term, it is going to be BC trying to dive on Misfortune, time to dive on maybe the Graves and even Irelia to an extent, and trying to kill them with the Gangplank, get long range damage, Israel Gangplank, and also get kind of the close-up damage from Aurelian Soul, while 99 looking to kite, looking to get into a small corridor into the jungle, and then just use the bullet time to spray all over BC's team with the CC from Galio, Shen, and even Irelia. So.
Yeah, 99 in terms of team fighting, it's definitely going to be mostly based on the Misfortune bullet time damage, but once again, Aurelia Graves, they do a lot of damage in the later stages of the game. So it looks like maybe they're going to try and combo the Galio ultimate with something like an Aurelia engage into the Misfortune ultimate, with just Misfortune and Graves cleaning up the fight.
Now, the burning question, who do you guys think is going to take it? We've talked a lot of theory, but who is going to execute?
I think, for me, I think BC has the advantage mainly because they have the roam from Aurelian Soul, Gangplank ulti going through, and they can influence the map very easily. While 99 comp is very easy, but it's also very hard to kind of execute with BC's comp just diving on them, and all of the carries just probably going to die very fast.
Yeah, just based on team comp alone, I'm going to say BC, because really, if 929 does try to pull off a sort of split push with the Aurelia or the Galio in the side lane, then BC does have a lot of ways to engage on that 3-man or 4-man squad with something like Sejuani ultimate or a Gangplank ultimate. So it really does come down to the team fighting power for me personally, and I just think that in the later stages of the game, BC has it. So I think one of the big win conditions for 929 would be to try and get early advantages through the bottom and top lane with the Graves pressure in general.
I'm going to be the odd one out here and call it for 99. I think the CC chain is easier to pull off, as well as the Misfortune damage lineup. They have one less tank to burn, so I think they can do it. And also Soul, I would need to see a Rampage Soul that does well before I can. As far as I'm concerned, currently it's a 4v5.
Yeah, that is definitely an interesting point, because Aurelian Soul is a pretty tough champion to play. You have to have the right zoning, you have to have the right positioning to play him and play him effectively. So we have to see how BC's mid laner is going to play on that Aurelian Soul. Hopefully he'll be walking around the map looking for some kills, especially maybe on that bot lane. Misfortune share not too mobile of a lane, and even maybe help out his jungler Sejuani with invades coming from Graves if Graves chooses to do so.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to look at the mid lane matchup, because both of the mid laners are kind of just push the wave in, go to side lanes champions. So I think a lot of it is going to come down to which jungler has more pressure and can help out their mid laner, push out that lane, and get side lane advantages in the early game. I think that's going to be a big point. Yeah,
I do think that BC's mid laner hasn't reconnected yet. Not too sure, but I'm not. So I guess this is where we can take some time to talk about the individual matchups. Gangplank versus Irelia, and what? Okay. So BC is going to get subbed in, and it is going to be a different person on that Sejuani. So, I mean, though we haven't seen any BC's sub jungler or even main jungler, so it's going to be, we haven't seen what they can do, so not much difference, but it's going to be quite interesting to see.
Yep, so keeping the same draft, we're just going to have a different jungler than we were originally going to have. They decided BC. We should be getting into the game shortly.
Yeah, just on your point as far as the top lane goes, Gangplank is a sort of champion that I can definitely see beating the Aurelia, especially with the fact that Aurelia relies a lot on her stun. So if the Gangplank can keep the range, or if he can eat the orange to get out of the stun, or he can just even push the wave in with his barrels, then that can definitely help him survive the early game, which is one of Gangplank's main weaknesses. And Aurelia definitely does have a strong lane against many matchups, and her late game team fighting is important. So the early game is going to be something that BC is going to need to try and control on the top lane for sure.
Yeah, it's a very influential matchup. Both these champions have the potential to kind of take over the game themselves. Aurelia just being innate with a Kitten Gangplank, just being the hyper carrier that most people have faced before. So Sejuani and Graves are going to have to do their jobs. Both of them are pretty good in this jungle. I would give it to Graves if they were to duel in the jungle, but I'm not too confident in the 2v2 with the top laners.
Yeah, Graves definitely a huge power pick in this patch. Obviously, I'm sure most people that have played ranked or even normals know that. A lot of the pressure is going to be coming from the jungle, I would assume, considering Sejuani is a tank jungler who generally tank junglers do suffer in the early game. But even then in the late game, Graves does have the power. So it is kind of surprising that they decided to pick Aurelion Sol first instead of something like Graves. It may be a question of whether the BC jungler is not comfortable on playing Graves, and that maybe the BC mid laner prefers Aurelion Sol over all the others. So that's going to be something interesting to look out for in this game, and also adaptation into the next game.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting mid lane because both mid laners don't really want to do anything in their own lane. They want to go to the other lane and try to get something.
Yeah, it's just kind of a matter of who gets there first. I mean, Galio does have the problem that he can't really roam until he's level 6. I mean, yes, he can build down like the river and try to get down something, but
his lanes are easier to pull off, though.
Yes.
The Al-Sol one can be pretty quickly disengaged or completely misplayed by the Al-Sol. Galio's is harder to display.
Yeah,
and then the bot lanes, the Rocket's so oppressive.
Yeah, I would still think that Galio's still gonna have problems roaming down to the bot lane, mainly due to Israel Soraka. Like, it is very hard to get on that lane unless they make a pretty huge mistake. But it's also quite interesting to talk about the top lane, where both champions are somewhat immobile. I mean, Aurelia does kind of have the dash, so if she's able to like maybe dash to a minion getaway, but I would kind of look towards Aurelion Sol and Galio to go top lane, maybe, and try to influence that matchup as much as the junglers.
Yeah, it'll be fun to watch the top lane.
If you can get Gangplank ahead, he's a force to be reckoned with in and of himself.
Both teams only have really a singular tank. I wouldn't really call the support Shen too much of a tank. I don't really think that's much of an option. I mean, he doesn't have... I don't know. He doesn't really have kind of scaling that would help him become a tank in the late game, such as like maybe Thresh who gets the armor from his passive, or Alistar who gets the damage reduction. So I'm not too confident in saying that Shen can tank. I think he's more just peeling for the misfortune, getting him, shielding her, rather than anything else. So Galio and Sejuani are really gonna have to pull their weight in these fights.
Yeah, speaking of the Shen,
but it'll just take him a while when you support the
Yeah.
But he doesn't have to build a technical Hydra like he would if he was playing in top lane. So that's an item slot that can go to something else, as well as a couple other things.
Yeah, speaking of the Shen, I think the bot lane matchup is going to be interesting to watch because, as was talked about earlier by you, Shadow, you know, the Soraka and the Ezreal, they are pretty safe, considering that Ezreal can just E away from all abilities and the Soraka can heal up the Ezreal. But I think that if the Misfortune and Shen can get on the Soraka, then they can easily burst her down with the Misfortune damage and the Shen taunt, as well as the fact that Shen Q, which does max health damage, does kind of just have high base damage. So it'll be interesting to see if the bot lane from 19-9 does focus on the Soraka or just tries to sort of poke down the Ezreal.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder how this game is really going to go, because I think it's all going to center on this top lane, mainly between this Gangplank and this Aurelia, because those are the two kind of stars of this match. Israel is going to be maybe Israel and Misfortune, all 280 carries that are pretty... They have a lot of pressure in the game, they have impact, but I do think the carry potential is there, mainly in the Gangplank and Aurelia, though Israel and Misfortune are not to be kind of ignored.
Yeah, it is important to remember that Misfortune is pretty immobile and that most of her power is in the early game. So if she doesn't get the early game lead, then she does tend to fall off later because of the fact that most of her damage just comes from her ultimate in the later game, which can easily be interrupted by somebody like Sejuani or even the Aurelion Sol with the Q stun.
It's quite interesting to say because there's actually not too many reliable ways to stop the Misfortune ulti other than just a point and click, maybe Sovaka silence. Everything else is very kind of conditional. You have to be able to land it, or William still has to get the stall onto Misfortune, but that would be pretty hard, especially with like Galio, Shen, and Irelia protecting Misfortune. Israel and Gangplank don't have any way, and Sejuani has to get the clear line and get close enough to use the permafrost on Misfortune, while Soraka's the only one that can actually cancel it immediately. So that's actually something to look out for.
Yeah, that is true. So it's definitely going to be the burden of 99 to make sure that they do peel off the CC away from their Misfortune in order to get the damage from the bullet time.
Yeah, this is going to be quite interesting to kind of watch. I'm not too sure on how this game is going to go, but I do think that it is probably going to rely on the junglers and the mid lane to affect the top lane. The bottom lane is probably just going to be a farm fest, but I do think bot lane is probably just going to be a farm fest. Israel Soraka not really going to do too much unless they get somehow a kill. Maybe somebody takes Ignite, but
yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the Shen support, if it is actually Shen support, which we've been saying and assuming it is, what he does build in the bottom lane. I'm expecting something like Knight's Vow, maybe Locket, but past that I'm not really sure. He might even decide to get Titanic for damage.
Quite interesting to think. I'm also a little bit curious on the Gangplank build. Like, we've seen variations on the Gangplank build. You have like Sterox Gauge and like Trinity Force. It's like kind of a tank plank, while you also have that full crit damage, just trying to be one of the carries, as there's no crit damage on the side of BC. Israel is not really going to build crit, so maybe if Gangplank can build that, he can maybe pressure some people, maybe mainly Galio, to build like a Lando and Summon or something.
Yeah, we're probably going to see a couple of fights that start off with very few people and end up with 5 versus 5s by the end of the fight. Gangplank ult, Aurelian Soul roaming, Galio. We could potentially see the 2 versus turns into a 5 versus 5 in about 10 seconds.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to get to the fight. I mean, you have a decent amount of globals and kind of just trespasses, so yeah, most of these guys cannot make a misstep, especially 99. Misfortune and Graves cannot make a misstep, or they're just going to get instantly bursted down. While BC, I guess they have a little bit more leniencies because they have 3 damage sources. Most of them can pull their weight. Maybe William still has kind of weaker damage, but not too bad overall.
Something that might be interesting to watch out for is the Shen Twilight Blade, or like the shield that he gets with his W, where he prevents damage from auto attacks. Considering the fact that BC, 2 of their main damage dealers are going to be Ezreal and Gangplank, who obviously both rely heavily on their attack, on their auto attacks. So it's going to be cool if the Shen support can actually prevent a lot of that auto attack damage on the backline carries such as Misfortune and Graves.
Well, they even those 2 still do a whole lot of damage with barrels and Ezreal. Anyway, so I'm not sure how much it would actually affect. Yes, they string the auto attacks between the ability, but most of their damage comes from barrels and shots.
Yeah, I mean, to talk about kind of the siege, I do think the fact that 99 have... I mean, both the teams siege in their own different ways. It was going to poke down, Aurelian Soul is going to threaten with his wall jump. I can't remember the ability off the top of my head, and his stun, while Gangplank's just trying to use bills. While 99 is really just going to walk up and try to be like a tank line. Galio, Shen, and Irelia are just going to walk up to the turret trying to protect Misfortune and Graves while they siege down. So both these teams have decent siege potential, and even kind of Baron bait, Dragon bait if you want to call it that as well. So gonna watch those fights around mainly of the objectives, because those are going to incite so much.
Both teams have okay wave clear. Outsole and Gangplank for BC, and then Misfortune Galio is worse than Outsole gangplank that's there. It's something. So they do have some ways to deal with a siege. Although I would definitely give BC the advantage under siege.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm unfortunately a little bit of a delay on the game, but the teams are going to be loading up, so we are going to be starting to pass it over to Backpack Info as the main cast is very soon here. I don't have the exact timer, but we will be switching over very soon. Otherwise, this game, BC versus 99, will be a quite interesting one. We'll have to see how both these teams are going to be playing their team comp and if they can play their comfort picks. So,
Yeah, just I guess sort of to try and wrap it up a little bit is that as far as the late game siege does go, I think the BC definitely does have the advantage, especially with the Soraka able to heal up people during the sieges, whether they're defending or attacking, and then obviously the Ezreal poke is going to be pretty effective, assuming that the Galio does build full AP. Even if he doesn't, obviously Ezreal still does a lot of damage in the late game. Whereas 99, their wave clear is mainly just going to be Galio and Graves, so that'll be interesting to see.
Another thing to maybe follow would be the dragon spawns, because BC loves those ocean drakes with Ezreal out of soul.
yeah, but with that analysis, we are going to send it over to Backpack and Fez, and they'll be joining you for this game as we load in.
All right. Hey, guys, what's up? It is week 3 of Rampage. We do have Almost Calculated versus Barely Competent. I am one of your casters, Backpack, and with me is Frez. What's up, my dude?
How's it going, guys? I'm just happy to be here. Happy to cast another Rampage game. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it is going to be a good one. I mean, we were talking a little bit about the team comps while everything was loading in, and something that really caught my eye was the Fleet Footwork Misfortune. I'm pretty sure you don't take that anymore. The thing that we also mentioned was the Kleptomancy Gangplank. The Gangplank I don't think works that much at all anymore, in my opinion, especially against an Irelia with Conqueror.
Right,
so
exactly.
So Ryan's going to have to play this lane extremely well. So
Yes, exactly. Ryan is definitely at the disadvantage as far as the laning phase, though. Ever since we saw those Klepto nerfs a few patches back, ways back, we started to see much more of a shift towards the grasp for the key stuff for Gangplank rather than Klepto, as Klepto has sort of been kind of exclusive to Ezreal, as we do see it on the Ezreal this game as well. And something that I picked up right away, which my team has been doing in our Dominate games, is the Ezreal taking TP instead of heal. And the reason for that is that Ezreal is able to get that early tier of the Goddess, since it's 850 gold instead of 750 gold, back for that tier of the Goddess, TP right back into lane, and then just start stacking up that tier. But this only works exclusively with Soraka, since Soraka usually has those heals as well. And I'm really surprised that she didn't take heal, and that she just
took
opted for
exhaust
there. Yeah, because normally I would expect a heal there instead.
Well, honestly, like, when you see an Irelia and a Graves, you're kind of like, maybe I do need the exhaust. But, I mean, now they don't have a heal in that bot lane to try to give them that movement speed to try to get out of some of the ganks from, like, the Galio and the Shen. So,
Exactly.
I mean, Meteorologist and Golf is going to have honestly, probably a really tough laning phase.
Yes, exactly. And they're definitely going to have to play that lane pretty specifically with their positioning as well, because if they make one wrong move, Aki on Misfortune is definitely going to make them pay with that. Get that empowered Q, take up to half their health on one ability, and they don't have the sustain that they normally would have now. Worst case, when there's a Q coming off a minion and it's coming in, normally you would just panic heal, you'd stay alive, you'd be fine, but they don't have that option now.
Yeah, you don't have that option, so they're gonna have to be careful. But they do have the last straw on Aurelian Soul, which is a pretty big roaming threat, to say the least. So maybe they might never need that heal, but I feel like with the Misfortune and the Shen, it's gonna be pretty bad. And oh man.
Yes, we're starting to see these Rampage toasters come out. We already
Oh,
had one
man.
E-sub and Champ Select, and now we're starting to see all the DCs happen here.
Oh my.
All right, backpack. So how you doing? How's your day?
I'm yiking pretty hard right now.
You're yiking pretty hard.
Yeah.
Care to elaborate?
Oh man, because we had a they had a jungle, then they didn't have a jungle because the power went out, and then they got the sub. Now he's DC'd. Oh man. Oh boy. All right. So, so I guess we'll just talk a little bit more about where we're.
Yes, exactly.
See?
Let's start
So-
going. Oh, we see the reconnect right here.
Yeah,
Hopefully
alright.
that's it. Hopefully all connection issues have been resolved and we can get this game moving. I remember
Yeah.
one thing I really didn't like about custom matches when I'm in game. I know this is probably specific to me, but I really hate the audio cues not being where they are, because normally the music, the intro music, or whatever, is at a certain point when the buffs are coming up, and it's just like, you know, routine. When you hear that audio cue and the buff hasn't spawned yet because the music still continues when the game is paused, it triggers something in the back of my mind.
Dude, did the recall bug get fixed yet? Like, you know how like when you recall, you usually get that very big like boom sound or whatever. Like they took it out for some reason last patch.
Really? I didn't
Yeah.
notice that.
Like it was just a bug. I mean, I hope it got fixed because it's just it sounds weird or it looks weird without like the sound from the recall going
Yeah.
back.
Something I got right now. My screen is hovering over that Misfortune, and I'm hearing that smooth jazz going on that Gun Goddess Misfortune.
Dude, that's some smooth jazz right there.
Yeah, are you hearing it too?
Dude, yeah. I remember like when when that skin came out, like no one liked it.
Yeah, I mean, I think Riot has done better in the past with like Star Guardian.
Well, of
Logs,
course.
Pulsefire.
Oh, yeah,
Even the old Pulsefire Ezreal was pretty dope. This one, I haven't really seen it that much. I don't think it's been as popular as the previous skins. But,
Yeah,
who
because,
knows?
like,
We'll see.
They sold it as an ultimate skin, but like they dropped it like 400 RP or something like that to kind of just be like, oh yeah, we know we kind of messed up, but
Yeah.
this whatever, because the game is finally resumed. Hopefully it will continue to be resumed until, you know, the
Third
end of the
time's the charm.
series. Yeah, so what's the first dragon, by the way? Okay, it is a mountain, so maybe
We
we
have a
won't be
mountain
seeing
drake.
maybe we won't be seeing too much priority on that mountain drake. I was hoping it would be an infernal, but
Yeah, normally you would see Infernal and Ocean Drakes prioritized more early on, just because Infernal, obviously the best one in the game, no question about it. And then even Ocean Drake, just because it gives you that much more sustain. In a matchup like this, where you have so much harassment going both ways, between Aurelion Soul, between Gangplank's queues, between Aurelia, you got the Ezreal queuing, you got the Misfortune queuing, there's just so much harassment going on in this laning phase that an Ocean Drake would also be really ideal here just to keep that sustain. And like we said, right there, boom. Misfortune, first time she uses that Q, takes out a huge chunk of Ezreal's health.
all right. So me and you were talking like while you were doing that in the bot lane, and you saw the Aurelion Soul try to poke out the Galio a little bit. And
Yes.
we were talking a little bit earlier. I used to play Galio a lot, and in this Aurelion Soul matchup, I just wanted to die. It was the worst thing I've ever experienced. But the last straw really isn't really giving AO a very tough time. I mean, he is 4 CS down already, but it could be so much more, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. You're able to bully him in the first few waves off completely. And we're not really seeing Aurelion Soul capitalize on this much, but we're starting to see some attention to the top
Oh,
lane.
Derpy trying to take advantage of Ryan being a little bit too far up. The red is going to be ticking down. The stun is going to be able to hit from Aurelia, and Ryan tried to flash, but not going to be able to get it, as first blood goes over to almost calculated.
Yes, wards do not matter if you don't use them. And we saw right there, we saw Ryan way too overextended. He had the vision there. He probably thought in the back of his mind, you know, I got vision, I'm fine. But just because you have vision there, it doesn't mean you're fine if you don't use it properly.
I wonder if Derpy is going to do the old runaround where, like, you see the gangplank, like the other top laner TP back to the lane, and you go back and try to gank again. But
That is exactly what it.
that would be awesome. But I think he's just doing his Krugs, and get wrecked is just really, really low. Oh, look, he is actually going to be trying here. He is going to be spotted on a ward again, but he is going to be able to see it. No, actually, there it is. Derpy Cat is here again, and the stun is going to be able to hit. So get wrecked, scumbag. Able to get the stun. The red is taking down. Ryan is in a lot of trouble. Doesn't have an orange. He's going to be going down again. Derpy Cat's getting the kill.
And this time he's got no TP to get back to lane. That's something you gotta be really careful of. That same ward is still there, but he got punished for it twice. especially when you got no TP up, you got no flash up, you really got to be cautious if you're going to be pushing up for that wave. Like, if I were him, the way he's shoving into Aurelia's tower, I would not even have TP. I would have just casually just... Oh, hang on a second.
Oh man, Derpy Cats is everywhere. It's actually the last straw. He's actually out of mana, but the experience able to give that mana a little bit back. He's trying to run away. The stun able to hit both of them. He's gonna be going
Sejuani's
out.
not spotted.
Oh, Sejuani is here. His Derpy Cats might be in a little bit of trouble. The Burnfrost gonna be able to stun him up. A last straw out of mana, not gonna be able to do much as Derpy Cat just doesn't want it. Flashes over the wall, so he's gonna be okay, but gonna miss that flash probably as the mid game comes along.
Yes, absolutely. We're starting to see a lot of summoners burn that wouldn't really need to be a burn if
Oh, Coco going in onto Ghost Supremacist, but actually, the Silent Field going to be able to stop for a little bit. It's Coco. Had to flash away. I don't think they're going to be able to get it. Very, very close with the Mystic Shot. A key. Had to heal that. So, a lot. Even more summoners are going down.
Yes, absolutely. And something that I just noticed is that Soraka's actually going for a Q max first, as opposed to the E max. And lately, I've noticed a lot of Soraka's going E max because it's unavoidable damage. Like right now, she could have just walked up, pressed that E, got instant damage on both champions there. It just offers so much harass early game. I'm really surprised that she's not opting for that E max, because normally you would max Q last. You would go E and then into your heal, so you have those empowered heals. And then your Q last. Your Q is just gonna do what it normally does in lane. It's just gonna give you a little bit of harass, give you a little bit of sustain. But that E is that main source of damage, and that's why that lane is so effective with Ezreal and Soraka, because you're able to harass them so much.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's the best thing to do on a Soraka, but I mean, Q-Max does give you a lot of rejuvenation. As Ryan just gonna be going down again. I thought he was gonna be safe, but I mean, Aurelia's just kind of taking over this lane right now. I think last straw actually is DC'd. There it is. Haha.
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 There's the pause that you're looking for.
Oh,
I wonder if this is going to be the first game where we see the timer run out.
No, each team is 10 minutes, so I think...
Oh, it's 10 minutes.
Probably,
okay, so
yeah,
we're not going to see 30.
No, we are not going to see 30.
Now, wait a second.
got
It's
10
3
minutes
pauses per game, correct?
Yeah. That was the second one.
Oh, and then
Wait, so
Ryan
now
is
the top
connected.
laner? Oh my
Oh my goodness.
into me. Okay.
I mean,
So let's talk a little bit about this Graves, man, because like we were talking earlier in the loading screen, and we were like, okay, Graves is just gonna try to bully around the Sejuani, not gonna be trying to ganking too much. They don't really have that much ganking pressure, honestly, anywhere. So it is kind of surprising that Derpy Cats is ganking as much as he is, but he's getting his lanes ahead. I mean, like even. You know, ganking the Aurelian Soul gave a lot of pressure back to Galio. I mean, it's in the middle of the lane right now.
yes, you're absolutely right, Backpack. And I'm not surprised to see him gank top lane, especially considering how greedy the Gangplank has been playing. And since Aurelia is really the best chance of landing hard CC on a champion, I think that if Graves were to go for ganks, opposed to power farming, that he should definitely be going that top lane. But now I'd really like to see him try to get Galio ahead now. Because we see that Aurelian Soul has no flash, as he burnt the flash earlier. So if Aurelian Soul is going to be pushing the way he is to try to get that push and roam going, I'd really like to see Derpy Cats try to get into the opposing jungle and then try to get behind that Aurelian Soul. And then so when he pushes that, it's just an easy kill because he's got no way out.
Yeah, that would be nice. I mean, Sejuani doesn't take camps as fast as the Graves, so Graves might be able to just kind of, you know, like you said, get behind the Aurelian Soul, try to counter jungle a little bit. I mean, look at the top side of the map for Barely Competent. I mean, Derpy Cats is there. He can go towards the Gromp and the Wolves if he wants to, because Sejuani is on the bot side, but will she be discovered? Who knows? I mean...
Yeah.
Oh, also, I just realized we're 6 minutes in. Like,
we have spent more time paused than we have.
it feels so bad, man. Sorry for all the pauses, guys. I mean, some people just don't have up to par computers.
And that's
or internet.
There's definitely a correlation between higher elo and better computers.
And better
I know that there is
computers.
that stereotype up there, but I think, is this proof? I mean, it's live on television.
Dude, Dude, their internet is holding them back from gold, dude. I'm
Exactly.
telling
These
you.
guys, let's be honest, these are all challenger, like very high, top 100 challenger players. But if it weren't for their PC issues, that they'd just be a high challenger. They have the mechanics, but they just don't have the PC.
Wait, they just asked to reschedule.
Really?
Yeah.
They're down 3-0 and a lot of gold this early. I'm pretty sure that what's
Okay, they just said ready. We are ready.
They're ready. All right,
just
beautiful,
playing it.
Beautiful. I just want to get this game going. You know what I mean? We have 99 in BC. All right. I
A lot
always
of
mix up the
problems.
names.
Yes. But I mean, the game is going to be resumed. That was their last pause, I believe, or their second to last pause. So I guess it's just a matter of time before Relay Soul goes out again. But hopefully not. Hopefully he will be able to continue playing this game. He does have a little bit of a mid lane lead, actually. I mean, 12 CS, but he does win that lane early. But he hasn't really gotten too much pressure on Galio. Actually losing a lot of the trades. The stun not going to be able to hit, but the shield and Ran not going to be able to hit either. So both mid laners just missing all their skill shots there.
Oh, we see GP trying to take that Gromp away from Graves there. Oh, and
Is it really?
not
Did he
going to
get it?
connect with his barrel a little bit early.
Unlucky. I mean, he is a very considerable amount behind.
Yeah, I don't think he needs
amount
to be the
will
jump.
help. I wonder who's in the bush.
I think right now what Ryan just really needs to be doing is getting that farm. He just missed about a full wave and almost about to lose even more CS because he's just wandering around the jungle. And that's free CS he
Wait.
could have got because Aurelius not in the lane.
So, something very interesting to note is that Ayo has built a tier of the goddess on Galio. Definitely not the
Really?
build that I am accustomed to, but I mean, Galio does run out of mana early. Actually, Orion is getting jumped on again. Might be in a little bit of trouble. Get her scumbag. Able to get the ult down, but Sejuani is here. Is Get Wrecked. Is able to get that kill. He's trying to run away. Trying to dodge around as much as he can to try to stall time for Derpy Cats. And Derpy Cats is here, so Get Wrecked scumbag gets another, or Scrub MLG rather. Gets another kill. Might actually get another one here.
He will!
Wow.
This
Getting
Aurelius is
another
popping
kill.
off.
4-0, baby. 4-0.
Next challenger.
Holy moly. Actually, last straw, Ayo gonna be finding themselves in the jungle. Shielded around, gonna be able to hit as Asol just trying to get the Galio away from him. I mean, almost calculated, is really running away with this game. I mean, they are very considerably up. 2.5 at 8.5.
Yeah, exactly.
pretty
And
nuts.
if we take a look at the top side of the map right now, we see 1, 2, 3 control wards on the side of Almost Calculated, with a whole bunch of other wards in there. So that Aurelian Soul was roaming up there with little to no vision aside from the ward in the Tri Bush and the ward he just put in the River Bush, which he knew that no one was there. And he's just roaming. So he really just burnt his ultimate, and he almost risked dying. If Derpy Cats was paying attention a little bit more, you might have even been able to collapse on that Aurelian Soul with Ayo and just pick up that free kill. So we really need to start seeing the blue
This is
side
very
put a lot more vision down.
ambitious. Nejuani is level 5 to Derpy Cat 6. So Grave could just kind of do what he wants, and actually Ryan is going to be DCing again. As Golf Supremacist might be in a little bit of trouble. He has to flash away, but actually a key is here trying to get the ult down, but I don't think it's going to be saving from now. The bullet time going to be going down as another pause. Going to be going in. That is their last pause. Pretty sure.
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely. And I believe that they were supposed to let that fight play out a little bit more before the pause. But, I mean, at this point, it's just... Yeah. It seems like the side of Almost Calculated is getting a little bit ticked off by that.
Yeah, it was in the middle of the fight, but... I mean, I think this game is pretty snowbally.
Yeah, I honestly, if I were on the side of Almost
I
Calculated,
just go
I wouldn't
open
be
mid.
right now. I mean,
Open
yeah.
mid.
If this was, yeah, I mean, I wish I had these junglers in my solo queue games. Like, I mean, I've seen these guys gank so many times now, and like and personally in my solo queue games in low plat, I'm getting no ganks. I'm the one crying for ganks. So I've seen Derpy Cats, like Derpy Cats, man. I'm telling you, he's challenger material, but it's his PC holding him back.
It's the PC holding him back, but
PC.
Actually,
It's always
the game is going to be resumed here as a Mutt and Last Straw is here, but actually bit off a little bit more than he drew with a big ol' stun, but not going to be able to do much as the heal's going to be going down. The Last Straw trying to run away, trying to get that DPS on his stars with Galio, but not going to be able to get it. I mean, this is just an absolute stomp, and I think both teams kind of just accepted this fate that's happening.
Yep, absolutely. We see 3,500 gold lead in favor of Almost Calculated. They're picking up first dragon. I'm honestly surprised that we haven't seen first turret call yet. Like, that Aurelia is just going to take that turret ASAP. We see the GP AFK. I don't see a way for them to come back in this one.
Yeah, that's...
What does BC stand for again?
Barely competent.
Barely competent, yes. Their internet is barely competent.
Their internet. Yeah, basically. I mean, that's definitely unlucky for the first game.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it does happen to the best of us. I think Mud is just kind of hinting at this point.
Yeah, my internet was cutting out a few times today in my solo games. And obviously, the first reaction from the entire team is he rage quit ×9 report, you know, but...
Dude, it's probably because you were being toxic in the earlier game, dude. Come on.
Probably. I mean, I'm Honor 1 right now. I'm just trying to get that Honor back.
Honor 1.
You know what I mean?
Yikes.
I got my first key fragment today since October, by the way.
Really?
Just saying. Just saying. My first one. Yeah.
That's a pretty toxic boy.
Mm-hmm.
Do I feel bad?
Dude.
Yeah, I feel bad for this Aurelian Soul. I mean, like, he's doing
what
really
he can.
good. I mean, he's 89 far. Honestly, like, it's really just the top side of the map. I mean, Ezreal is doing fine, Soraka's doing fine, Aurelian Soul's doing fine as well, but this Irelia is just taking off at this point.
Exactly, and it's gonna take more than Sejuani just to contest that Aurelia in the top lane, as she's just completely diving the Sejuani, getting in and out clean with almost max HP. So it's only a matter of time before Aurelia gets that ultimate back. And then
Man, this guy,
free kill.
man, this Galio is really aggravating me. Like, he's barely channeling a Shield of Durand. Like, he's just getting, like, the minimum amount of the taunt available.
Exactly. Like, if you charge up that taunt a little bit longer. Like,
Hey,
feels
bad.
Batter up.
Feels bad, man. Feels bad. They should, honestly, like, almost calculate, should just let Ryan back into the game, but actually they're trying to get into this game. The collateral damage not going to be able to hit us. Derpy Cat tried to flash away, but not going to be flashing well enough. Is Ryan able to get the
Aurelia?
Yeah, the Aurelia is here on the TP, and actually Aurelian Soul's going to be taunted up, knocked up, and going down. Hey, yo!
Hulk smash!
Going to be getting that kill as Ryan can't really do much. I mean, he's so behind. Oof.
Yeah, I think that's proof right there that there's not going to be a clear way out for barely competent to win this game. Because right now, look at this misfortune. Just the amount of damage she's getting on the Ezreal and Soraka. Both Qs that she did took out half their health. If they hit the same target instead of one of each, that would have been a kill.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, usually when you see a 2v1 lane in the bot lane, you're like, okay, let's try to engage. Let's try to do something. But with an Ezreal and a Soraka against a misfortune that can just scurry away, you really cannot do that at all. So, Ryan gonna be going down again.
Ryan.
He's living.
Too mobile.
I don't know, and dude, Derpy Cats is still up here. He's just straight up bullying Ryan right now.
I think he's just KDA farming at this point.
Dude, I feel so bad for them. He's just backing up.
It's really unfortunate. Yeah, 32 CS in 14 minutes isn't exactly ideal.
Yeah, definitely not the most ideal. And Shen is finally getting back into lane. Amut is here. Maybe they're going to try to set up a dive. They do have the Soraka ult, so maybe something will happen. They do see Derpy Cats on the top side of the map, but actually just going to be spotted out on a ward. Is Rift Herald going to be summoned in the top lane?
Aw.
So,
I wanted to see the Rift Herald dance at the end of the game.
it's possible. I mean, they're smashing pretty hard. I mean, Aurelion Soul is here, but the stun is going to be able to get onto him, and Last Straw had to flash away, but actually Get Wrecked is going to be flashing himself, going to be ulting, but going to be able to get that kill. Sejuani is here, but really way too late as he's trying to get out of this, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to. Conqueror is going to be able to proc the flail, not going to be able to hit the second proc, and Ryan going to be able
Ryan's
to
gonna get a kill!
finally get himself a kill on that gangplank, because the bullet time is actually going to be canceled out with the silence field. The taunt going to be missing. He is also going down on the key, so now actually 19-9 might be a little bit of trouble, but Biologist is actually out of mana. Missing shot going to be able to hit onto the shin, but not going to be able to do too much after that as BC finally gets a kill, but a little bit of an int from Get Wrecked.
Yes, absolutely.
For the
But
guy.
I mean, when you're 7-1 into 15 minutes in the game, took out tier 1 and tier 2. I don't think that death is the biggest concern for him right now.
Yeah, definitely not the biggest concern. So,
Yeah.
I mean, Biologist is holding it down here. I mean, they do have a very good late game comp if they actually do want to try to play this out.
Exactly.
I mean, they
but-
can try to peel away the Irelia. I mean, even though she is level 11, I mean, the silence field is from the Soraka. I mean, you can try to get an exhaust. I mean,
Absolutely, yeah. Even though Calculated is this far ahead, we do see a lot of wave clear between Gangplank and Aurelion Soul and Israel on that team.
yeah, here comes Irelia. Not going to be able to get that stun though. Last Straw might be in a little bit of trouble. Going to be ulting the Irelia away, but cannot ult the Galio away. Is Galio just saying, "Hey, I'm here." Not going to be able to get
Hello.
that E on though. Yeah, hello, hello. Actually, all right. So this Galio built Abyssal Mask.
I'm really interested to know why you went Abyssal Mask first item. I mean, I get that Aurelion Soul does a lot of magic damage, but
Yeah.
I would have
Yeah,
liked to see a little more aggressive. A little bit more.
I mean, how aggressive? Like this Irelia aggressive? Or
Oh my, wait, Aurelion, you're not going to go for that?
no? I guess he's not going to be going for it. As Derpy Cats is going to be going in the bot lane. The flash taunt not going to be able to hit, but Golf Supremacist is still going to be going down, taking his life. I mean, the Soraka is very squishy, so I mean, if she gets hit with any kind of CC, she's going down.
Yep, you're absolutely right. And unless Anu is able to do something here, I believe that's going to be another Earth Dragon.
Yeah,
For
the Cannon
favor.
Barrage is going to be going down, giving vision, and Namut is going to be able to go over the wall, getting double taunted. Not going to be able to get that smite, though. Definitely unlucky. Couldn't get the smite. Ryan getting stunned himself. He's trying to run away, but he's 3 levels down. The flash, not going to be able to do anything. His Derpy Cat is going to be able to dash over the wall, trying to get what he can. But Galio, a little bit of a bad Cran entrance. But misfortune with the bullet time, not going to be able to get it. His Derpy Cat's going to be going down to Aurelion Soul, so hey, that's the late game carry, the Aurelion Soul.
Yep, absolutely. And right now we see Get Wrecked taking that top inhibitor. So what I would really like to see right now is I'd really like to see
the stun onto Golf Supremacist, but the silence field going to be able to stop for a little bit, but not going to be able to detect that much CC. And Get Wrecked just going to be able to get on out of there with a kill and the end hit.
Yep, you're absolutely right.
With
And-
2 mountains. Oof.
Yeah, it's what I would really like to see almost Calculated do now. I'd like to see Aurelia go right down to the bot lane. She's got TP up, worst case scenario. She needs to start getting that bot lane shoved as well, because they already got the pressure in the top lane. So I'd really, really like to see the Graves, the Galio, the Misfortune, and even the Shen. Like, the Shen can go top, the Shen can go bot with Aurelia. It really doesn't matter. He's just got so much global pressure with his ultimate as well. But now that the top lane is gone, they can kind of leave that alone. They just need to start getting that mid shoved in, because that tier 1 staying up mid is really occupying a lot of the space on the map for almost Calculated.
You want to hear something interesting?
I would love to hear something interesting.
Ezreal is actually only 300 gold behind of the Misfortune.
Really? I mean,
That's the
CS
stun
doing
is going to be
really
able to hit on the Aurelion Soul, and yep, he's going down.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I mean, if you
yeah,
take a look at the CS charts, that's 30 CS on the Misfortune.
Yeah. I mean, it has been a 2v1 lane for a majority of the time. Is Ezreal trying to back with what he can. He does have 1,700 gold. He is able to back, but Gulf Supremacist in a little bit of trouble here. The stun not going to be able to hit, but I mean, Aurelia is just so strong. She's able to just dive and able to get that kill, and Ezreal had to cancel his TP as well. So, get wrecked is just telling kids to get wrecked.
The new meme. Yeah, Ezreal definitely had to cancel that TP there. If he completed it, sure he'd be there at the end of the fight, but he would have just risked his own life there.
Yeah, all towers going down. I mean, double mountains is insane, but actually the stun gonna be able to hit onto the Sejuani. Bialik is gonna be able to flash away, trying to get away from that Aurelia, but Aurelia is still gonna be able to get that ultimate down the arcane shift, not gonna be able to save him. As a key is getting on a killing spree onto a Mutt, and 99 really just, I mean, there's no other way to say it than dominance. I mean, even though internet problems, I mean, they still have done so well for themselves. Is actually 99 just going to be able to dive this collateral damage, not going to be able to hit the bullet time, not hitting as well, wins a war either. So Golf Supremacist is able to get out with his life.
Yes, absolutely. It's a lot more than internet problems that we're seeing. Fairly competent here. We saw the Gangplank overextend not once, not twice, not 3 times, but several times during the lane.
4 times.
And he got punished for it. Was it 4?
I think it was either 3 or 4.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So, and he got punished for it, not only on First Blood, but when he TP'd back to lane, Derpycats was right there. He was just farming his drugs, came right back.
This Aurelia is insane, and the silence is actually going to be missing from Ghost Supremacist, but he's trying to heal as much as he can, and Last Shot is actually going to be able to get out there. The Cannon Barrage is going down on the tower, so actually 99 cannot get this tower, and Ryan able to get himself a kill. Derpycat's trying to run away. Amut does not have that Glacial Prison, so can't really do much. Trying to get an Arctic Assault to get into range, but not going to be able to. So, barely competent is able to get a kill, but
there's a little bit of an issue in the base.
Yeah, their base is getting TP'd on as we speak. Galio going to be TPing in right now, trying to get that turret, and he is going to be able to get that turret, get wrecked. Maybe trying to do something here. Some a little cheeky, and they are actually going to be able to do it as the ult is going to be going down. Get wrecked. Able to get himself another kill onto the Ezreal, and just pandemonium here. Golf getting stunned down. That's a double kill for get wrecked. Collateral damage missed again.
This is a pretty hard game to cast. I'll be honest with you, like it
yeah,
might
there's so
be
many
a little bit
skirmishes.
one-sided here, but there's just so many skirmishes going on. It's hard to keep up.
That is pretty hard to keep up, but I mean, like, the weird thing is, like, BC is getting out of a lot of these engages with like 1 or 2, but they're still losing a lot of Glacial Prison. Go far right as Galio going to be going in. The great CC chain, but actually AO might be in a little bit of trouble. The Hero's Entry is going to be going down, but not going to be able to save too much. As the Silence Field going to be going down, but actually Galio going to be going down. The bullet time raining. Not going to be able to get anything. The taunt flash gets onto the Sejuani, but Aurelia is still trying to do what she can, but she is going to be going down to Gangplank, and the key might be in a little bit of trouble herself, but actually it was Ryan that was in a lot of trouble as Derpycat's going to be going down. A key trying to get a kill onto the last straw, but not going to be able to get it as the key is just going to be able to run away with her life. Last straw going to be able to run away with his, but 99 taking everything in barely competent space.
Wow. Yeah, and now that they have an open nexus, they have 1 or 2 options. They can either try to just collapse with those minions into the base and try to siege the nexus the way it is, or they could just go for a Baron and ultimate push in there. I mean, I think at this point, either way works for them. Personally, what I would like to see right now, you have all the minion waves crashing to the base. Normally, I would say Baron is just a throw risk, but right now, there's just so much pressure going into BC's base right now that I think they can just safely take that Baron.
Yeah, they would be safely taking that Baron, and Get Wrecked also has a TP, so he does have the ability to, you know, maybe do a backdoor. He is 13-2. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. We do see the ward. We do see the ward there. It's gonna be there for, I can't see the timer on it, but if I had to guess, I guess 90 seconds.
Oh wait, never mind. You can't see it.
Yeah, normally you're able to see it underneath the 3 out of 3 out there. Yeah.
Baron.
Ryan, please.
99.
All right, let's see it. TP to that ward right now, Aurelia. Nobody's there. Go for that backdoor.
That would be a pretty interesting backdoor. Not gonna do it though. Stun not gonna be able to hit, so have to back off for the time being. But Kenneberod's gonna be going down, maybe. Yeah, Sejuani is on red buff. He's pulling a Meteos as a stun. Able to get onto Aurelion Sol. Aurelion Sol has to run away along with the Soraka. Sejuani is still at the red, but actually Derpycat might be in a little bit of trouble. Biologist trying to do what he can with the Shinhold. Gonna be going down, but yeah, it is actually gonna be able to save them both. As the TP is gonna be coming in from Irelia. As the Glacial Prison trying to do what they can, Aki's gonna be going down, but Get Wrecked is here and absolutely deletes the Rocket. It's a 1v3 in the backline. As Aurelion Sol is actually to take out the Shen, but Aurelia is just doing everything in the backline. Aurelion able to get himself a double kill.
There's a little bit of bigger problems in their base right now, though.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems in their base. Get Wrecked is just doing absolute work as he just pretty much gets himself. That's pretty much a quadra kill. Trying to get the actual official quadra kill, but can't get it. As the minions is able to get the Nexus and almost calculated. Gets himself a win. 1-0 here.
Yep, and that's gonna be game 1. I think I can safely say my MVP of the match is going to be Get Wrecked on Aurelia.
Get Wrecked.
Yeah.
Hey, even though Ryan was DCing a little bit, the early game was very well set up from both him and Derpy. So.
Yes, I'm also props to Derpycat there. I mean, his score may not say that he did a lot with 2-3-11, but that early presence in the top lane is what got Get Wrecked that snowball in the first place.
Yeah, he was able to get snowballing there, so maybe it will snowball to a win for 19-9 for almost calculated. And we're going to be sending it over to the analyst desk here while both teams take a little break, so we'll be right back.
Well, welcome back to the analyst desk after BC versus 99. I don't quite know what to make of that game. What do you guys think?
Don't feed Irelia. Just don't. Like the Graves games, because I mean, like it's obviously really easy to say don't die to the Irelia a billion times, but like the first death shouldn't have happened. He got stunned, and then he blew his flash after the stun. He should have blew the flash to avoid the stun, and the first death is gone. But even with the first death, the second death, he was pushed up way too far without any vision or any like. Junglers are in the game, and you need to be wary of junglers.
Yeah, like the disrespect coming out from Gangplank was just massive.
For the Graves and how much gank pressure he has early on. I mean, the level 2 gank at the beginning of the game was unexpected for everyone, but like after that.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about before the game during Champion Select about how a lot of the game was going to revolve around the top lane in the Aurelia versus Gangplank matchup and how the mid and jungle can sort of pressure the top lane. Turns out you just need to Gangplank twice and then Aurelia takes over the game.
Yeah, it was definitely painful to watch. Because both of those deaths could have basically been prevented. It's just that Gangplank disrespected the enemy really hard. But I do have to give some notice to Graves and the fact that his pathing was, I won't say like clever or anything, but I will say that it was effective. It was really effective in kind of just snowballing Aurelia. And I mean, from what I've seen from Get Wrecked Scrub, is that he's really good at snowballing the lead, as we saw him just keep killing the Gangplank. And that hurt to watch. That really hurt.
And by the nature of the pathing from the Graves, Sejuani didn't really get to do anything. She was stuck responding to all of the ganks and responding to the pressure, couldn't create any of their own pressure. The bot lane, nothing happened there until we had that big fight in the bot lane where nobody died.
Mm-hmm.
But for the first...
I mean, that is one of the biggest strengths of Graves, is that he does have super fast clear, especially in the early game, and so that lets him get on the map faster than most of the other junglers, and also he just does a lot of damage and has a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I mean his kid's just really effective at just punishing people for mispositioning, and I don't know what else to say other than he just really focused on that.
Yeah.
But positives for BC, Our Soul got ahead of the Galio by a pretty good margin. I think he was up 30 or 40 CS at like 15 minutes or so. So they got a good lead in the mid lane just in the 1 versus 1, which is worth something.
Yeah, mid
The
lane
bot,
did
the
have an
bot lane went
advantage.
pretty even as well. And so,
Yeah, I mean,
doom and gloom for BC.
yeah, I mean, it went even. It was a farm lane. There wasn't much to be happening until like fights started happening in the bot lane, and there wasn't really much happening. I don't think Misfortune and Shen were the problem. It was mainly just either the Graves or the Aurelia. Graves with the early game pressure, and Aurelia just for the snowball. Though I'm not really sure. Aurelia probably is a noted ban because Getlect will probably fall back to maybe more of his comfort picks, Yasuo and Riven. And on those champions, he tends to get really aggressive, though I guess he did the same on Aurelia, but they don't let him do as much as Aurelia. So that might be good to do.
Yeah, I definitely think that going to the next game, BC is going to want to prioritize a better matchup in the top lane or just like a stronger early game jungle. But I think it also is important to talk about that on the side of 99, the Shen support and Gallia mid actually were super important in maintaining that lead and making sure that small mistakes like over-aggression from the Aurelia weren't necessarily able to be punished by BC because the Shen just ults the Aurelia and then she doesn't die.
We saw that one play in top side at the blue side second turret, where Aurelia went a little bit too aggressive, but the Galio ultimate plus the Shen ultimate, she got out of there just fine. And they actually got a kill onto the Al-Sol, I think it was. So good use of the globals to even keep a little bit of over-aggression.
So
Yeah.
what do you guys think that BC can change in this game as a switching sides? BC will be on the red side, while 99 will be on the blue side. How do you think they can change up the draft?
I mean, overall, I think that as far as mid lane goes, it actually wasn't bad. Like, I think the Aurelion Sol versus Gallia matchup is favored for Aurelion Sol either way, but I still think that it went well. And then even in the bottom lane, they were still pushing in as far as Ezreal and Soraka were pushing in the Fortune and Shen, which is pretty good and important. So mid and bot, obviously, like we talked about, weren't the problems. The big thing I think is going to be trying to avoid a top lane snowball. So either get like a tank versus tank matchup or just get a good carry matchup on the side of BC.
Well, that is one kind of strategy that BC could take over, as they want to not are going to be trying to snowball that lead and finish out this game series 2-0. But do you think anything was wrong with the jungle? Maybe the Sejuani pick, though we did kind of see an unfortunate DC from the jungler, but do you think the Sejuani could have done anything if he would have like maybe not DC'd in the middle of the game?
We didn't really mention all the DCs that were happening throughout the game, which hurt BC in a number of ways, which definitely hurt the Sejuani. I don't know if the Sejuani was necessarily the problem, though. Graves does have a lot faster clear, but it was just unfortunate that he actually got to use his fast clear on get. He got 3 ganks off in a matter of like 2 minutes or something like that, 2 in the top lane and 1 in the mid lane, and Sejuani didn't really get to do much of anything. There might be better jungler picks, but I don't think it would have mattered. It doesn't matter what jungler they were playing on. Just the way Graves was playing, the lanes needed to play better or safer.
Yeah, honestly, I just think it was weird that on the side of BCs that they first picked Aurelion Sol instead of Graves, and they didn't ban Graves. Aurelion Sol isn't really something that you're going to be first picking, I don't think. And Graves is obviously, as is talked about all the time, and we even talked about earlier, a super powerful pick in the jungle with a lot of priority. So that is something that I found strange, and I'm looking forward to seeing if BC does change that up, especially since they're on red side now.
Also, unless 99's mid laner plays Al-Sol, nobody's going to take that pick away from you. You're not like securing that pick or something like that. As long as you pick it before the second round of bans, you're going to be fine. Because I haven't looked up 99's mid laner, but I will almost guarantee that he doesn't play Al-Sol. And so you pick up the Graves, although they don't have first pick this round, so they may just ban it. But you don't need to pick the Yasuo as the first pick.
Mm.
Mhm.
That's definitely something to think about. What picks do you guys think that BC should prioritize? Actually, pick and ban phase is starting here, but we do see kind of same thing from last draft, Chisana being banned away from by 99.
Mhm.
Good safe 80 carry right now. Lots of damage. Zaya's the same.
Another Garen ban.
And
Okay.
ooh, this
Really,
little
it's
bit of-
Zoe.
A little bit of change up. from
Man,
last game.
I haven't seen much Zoe as of late.
Yeah,
Mm.
I
Man.
feel like, in my opinion, at least, I think she requires some more skill now.
Yeah, I think she is rising priority though over the past couple patches. But it is interesting to see the Aurelia ban. It's sort of that mindset of like, well, the Aurelia got fed, so we have to ban it. When in reality, I don't think the Aurelia champion itself was the problem. It was mostly just the fact that the Aurelia got a lead in the early game. And
Oh, but I mean,
they ended up banning that instead of Graves, which I'm not sure if that's a good decision.
Late and showed that he knew what he was doing on the Irelia, so that I don't think that's necessarily a bad ban because it's pretty clear that he knew how to play her.
Right, it's not necessarily a bad ban, but I just think that, okay, well, Varus first pick. So, not what I was expecting. Definitely expecting a Graves first pick, but alright. I guess 99 prioritizes Varus AD carry.
Not too bad of a pick, still kind of a top tier pick, though has been overshadowed by multiple other 80 carries. And speaking of other 80 carries, we took out the Jin lock in for BC.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Yeah, what do you guys think about Jin? We haven't seen him too often.
He can be really good. He has a lot of good burst, and he has his own CC. He's again really immobile though. I probably would have preferred the Ezreal pick, but Ziggs.
Ziggs
in the
pick
mid
on
lane.
the side of BC. Xin Zhao on 99.
Control Mage and Sieger.
So kind of interesting is that neither team is really going back to the picks that they just had in the previous game. Even though 99 had such huge success, they strayed away from the Graves and they ended up picking Varus instead of Misfortune. I guess they didn't really like the bottom lane matchup too much.
And
Last game we talked about how one-dimensional 99's team composition was, so maybe after showing their hand once, 99 doesn't want to go back to that because they feel like BC would have a better grasp on what they're trying to do. Orn, that's a pick I wanted to point out. That was on the table last game, and that is a good tank that can stay in lane. Tanks that BC should pick up instead of the Gangplank.
yeah, definitely. We did not see BC's top laner play too well in the KA Champions, and now he's just going to be able to play kind of that tank that really can't get behind. I mean, despite all the pressure might be put on him. But also, Nautilus coming out from 99. This is not really meta, something that we haven't seen in a while. But what do you guys think? Support or top lane?
They're both technically on the table right now. I love Nautilus, but I don't think he's very good in either position right now. But I think more likely in the support position. Although I say that highly hesitantly, because I think he's pretty bad in both.
Yeah, I'm more likely to say that it's going to be support, considering we've seen 99's Aurelia, and I'm assuming they want to put him on another carry champion. But it could be top if they want to try and prioritize more mid lane or bot lane focus. But yeah, seeing the Camille makes me almost certain that it's a support Nautilus.
Yeah.
Support Nautilus.
So, I actually do kind of like this, mainly due to the fact that BC's the carries, Jin and Ziggs, are very immobile. And if there's one thing that Nautilus does really well, it's locking somebody down. You throw the hook, and then you make them sit still for about 4 or 5 seconds, which is pretty amazing. And if you look at all of the damage on 99 since Varus, Camille, Syndra, it's going to be pretty useful.
Yeah.
99 has a lot of damage and a lot of engage.
Mm-hmm.
BC has the Ornals, which is I like these I hesitantly say I like these more, even though they're worse in theory. I think they're a lot easier to execute on, though. They're both pretty strong team fight compositions, with a little bit of split push options. But in general, they just want to run at each other's faces. Kane wants to get onto the back line, get rid of the Varus or the Syndra.
I want to see if we're going to see a repeat of last game, mainly because 99's comp is a little bit different from last game. They don't have kind of the tanks in the mid lane and support. I mean, Nautilus does kind of function that, but they really don't have a definite tank. Like, Nautilus is not going to tank. I feel like the same story with Shen, right? You're not going to become like that giant top lane tank that you usually see when you're in top lane. I probably should have worded that better, but like when you're in top lane, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's
now the Orin ultimate. The Orin ultimate has a really long range engage, but which I think bodes really well for BC. They don't really have to get too close to get engaged upon by the Nautilus, Camille, or Xin Zhao, or even the Syndra, because Orin's ultimate just goes so far. So it's a little bit safer, as well as Jin just gets to stay back pretty far.
Yeah. On the side of BC, they do have a lot of long-range sort of abilities with like the Ornn ultimate. Ziggs obviously is a long-range sort of wave clear poke champion, and then the Jin with his W and his ultimate can also do a lot of long-range stuff. So it'll be something to look at, is that 99 is going to be trying to overcome that sort of range advantage, which I use the term sort of loosely, with something like the Camille or Nautilus engaging.
I didn't even think about that. Didn't put two and two together. Didn't put the fact that they have a brand and a Ziggs.
Yeah, the AP damage is actually pretty large, and even to an extension, 99 does not have a tank. So these members of like Ziggs and Bland, and even Jin and Kane, who have really good burst damage and kind of lockdown, especially, well, actually most of them too. I don't know what I'm saying right now. It's gonna, like, if they can play correctly, like, because 99 are looking to kind of just jump on people, but there's 4 carries on BC, depending on where Kane goes with Light Lost or the Shadow Assassin. But it just kind of depends on who they're going to burst down, right? Because any one of these guys can carry for BC, and even if one of them dies, they still have damage. So I kind of want to see how that's going to turn out.
Yeah, 99 definitely, with the Nautilus, Camille, Xin Zhao are looking to jump on the backline of BC, and then champions like Varus. But also, the Syndra is just going to be looking to follow up on the Camille and Xin Zhao by, doing what Syndra does best and pressing R on a carry.
Yeah, I wonder how this game's kind of going to go, because 99, their lanes are quite strong. Varus is a very strong lane by himself, actually, with the Nautilus, in addition. Like, Jin and Blade are going to have to play extremely careful in this lane, because the moment they get hooked, they're going to take a lot of damage. Either one of them, they're very squishy. So this bot lane is going to be definitely probably harsh for both sides, or mainly Jin Bland, because they're very immobile. But
yeah, I want to see.
Brand has a lot of turnaround damage, so Nautilus engage could be an engage for Jin Brand as well.
Yeah, I really want to see where the junglers decide to focus this game, because, in terms of Ziggs versus Syndra, Ziggs is a very safe champion because of his long-range wave clear. And then obviously Ornn in the top lane, he's a tank, and he's really annoying to kill because of his W, which gives him the shield and then does a bunch of damage, also just being a tank. So I want to see if, on the side of 99, they do decide to try and get the Camille ahead again in terms of the top lane, or if both teams decide to focus on the bottom lane, because that is going to be one of the more explosive lanes because of something like the Nautilus, which you just talked about, or the fact that Jin Brand has so much damage in CC.
yeah, that's
Also
definitely
might want to get the Syndra ahead. Because without the Syndra, if the Syndra falls behind, suddenly Ornn just needs to build armor, and you can't do anything. Only AP threat on 99.
I mean, that's definitely something to think about, but like we saw last game that Get Wrecked can carry, and even harder on this Camille, he's going to be able to split push, and there's nobody on BC that can actually match the split push this time. Like Orin will stand there and kind of look pretty, maybe take some damage, and he'll try to wave clear, but ultimately he will not be able to match the wave clear from Camille unless he buys some sort of like maybe Iceborne Gauntlets, Sunfire Cape, whatever. But I feel like it's really just Sinzhao and Camille are going to be the very kind of centerpieces of 99. Varus and Syndra are kind of just the add-ons. They're there for damage and trying to carry, but Sinzhao and Camille I feel like are going to be the main reason that 99 are going to like push this game to victory.
Yeah. It's actually interesting that you talked about 99's only AP damage from Syndra, because, as you may or may not know, Varus has 2 builds that you can go with crit or AP. I am expecting the crit build because that has been more popular as of late, but it will be interesting to see if he does actually decide to go with the AP build in terms of the bot lane on 99.
Honestly, I prefer the AP build mainly just because of the raw amount of damage that it does, and also the fact that they probably need the AP damage. Like Syndra is burst damage, but she's not consistent in her damage, especially with the change that her Q no longer. I think it does 20% more damage right now with the change. I don't know what they did to it. Can't remember off the top of my head, but Syndra does mainly burst damage. Her consistent damage is probably not enough. Like, it's one of those things where you just kind of look at it and you build like maybe one magic resist item and then just stop. But Varus might really just kind of dissuade that from happening, which is pretty good.
One of the champions that we haven't talked about too much is the Kayn. And getting on, if the Kayn can get a good jump onto the back line, that in and of itself could be a one-team fight. If Varus and or Syndra and Sinzhao or Camille have to pull off to deal with the Kayn, that's one less, and and within anything less than a 5v5, I think BC has a much better fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, definitely.
The Brand and the Ziggs have so much AoE.
Yeah, especially in those small fights. Like we talked about it earlier. In the last game when 99 had kind of, I think, the better AoE comp, but this time it is now BC that have the better jungle fighting comp, small area, and it's up to 99 to really just try to dodge that. I mean, Camille and Sinzhao have both ways to dodge that and try to dive the carries of BC, but I mean, when one like all Brand and Ziggs need to do is just throw out all the spells, and it's fine enough. They're doing enough damage for that fight, you know.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest weaknesses of BC's comp is that they don't really have that much crowd control. Ornn has his ultimate, but outside of that, maybe Jhin can snare with his W or Brand can get a stun. But whenever you look at 99, they have the Nautilus, the Sinzhao, the Camille. They're all going to be diving in on BC. So if BC can't really get away because they don't have CC, then that could very easily turn into a lost fight, because the Camille and Sinzhao are so good at diving in and then doing a lot of burst damage to one champion.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good point on the fact that if kind of 99 do get ahead, there's very little that BC can do to stop them. They don't have lockdown. They can't really like lock down a target, and we might see a repeat of last game where the Irelia was running around just killing everyone, and they have no CC to stop her. And this time it's going to be maybe the Camille or maybe even the Sinzhao. So very important to watch them. But I do want to kind of ask you guys, what do you guys think overall? Who do you guys think will kind of have the lead in this game?
Well, just based off of the previous game and looking at comps, I definitely think that 99 has an advantage. Though there was a lot of stuff that could have happened differently for the side of BC that could have let them win the previous game. So I think, once again, a lot of it will come down to the top lane, as far as does the Camille get ahead, or can the Ornn just stay safe and become that late game tank that everybody knows is super annoying to play against.
I'm going to give it to 99 as well. I think last game they proved that they are considerably better at execution, especially of something like a Camille carry top laner. Much better at executing it than BC. However, I really like BC's composition a whole lot more. I like the Ornn in the top lane. I think Ziggs can get a lead on the Syndra. And I think Ornn can not fall super far behind. So I'm going to give it to 99, but I'm hopeful for BC.
Yeah,
that they're going to put us to a game 3.
we'll have to see that if BC can actually bring them back. But as for me, I this one's a little bit hard, mainly due to the fact that I'm a pretty big fan of Ziggs and Jin, and even Owen to an extent. I'm really a big fan of those champions, and I love watching players play it. So this one's hard for me, but I do think like 99 have the advantage, especially going off last game with the momentum. But BC's comp for me and like my heart, I feel like they have the better team comp. So I'm kind of mixed right now, but I have to see.
Yeah, that is something to talk about, is that the momentum from last game. I'm sort of wondering what the morale and mindset is on the players of BC, considering the fact that they did sort of get steamrolled. It was like a 24-minute win, I believe. They had a bunch of disconnects, obviously, and then a lot of their players were just dying constantly to the Aurelia. So it will be interesting to see if their mindset is in the right place, or if they're going to be like tilted or maybe too afraid to make plays that could win them the game.
Well, also, I think Kane can actually answer the clear speed of the Xin Zhao. So I don't know if 99's jungler is going to be able to get off all those early ganks that he did on the Graves last game, at least without getting a response from the Kane. I think the Kane gives a lot more opportunity for it to not just be a 2 versus 1 in the top lane. Both junglers have a pretty good clear speed. I might even say Kane has a faster one than Xin Zhao, or at least a healthier one. But
yeah, I mean, I've seen Kane in the new jungle, and he does fare really well into the new jungle. Like it didn't really affect him, mainly just because he was made for the jungle. So I do think it's going to be very interesting to see, but I do think Xin Zhao has the early game advantage, mainly probably because he's going to take the Plessy attack, which unless Xin Zhao walks up to Kane with low HP, Kane is probably not going to be able to, I guess, damage through all of Xin Zhao's HP. So I do think Xin Zhao has kind of the early game advantage, but in the 2v2, especially, Xin Zhao and Camille will beat Ornn and Kane. There's no doubt about that. That's the problem.
yeah, but I think Ornn and Kane can avoid dying to the Xin Camille, which is more than they could last game.
Yeah, definitely.
Where Graves would die before the Sejuani was even on that side of the jungle.
Yeah, that's.
I don't think if BC plays it half decently, I think that they can get out of the laning phase and not have a Camille that's 9-1 like the Aurelia was.
Yeah, the Ornn and Kane definitely can avoid getting killed, but it is important to realize that in the early game, that's when tanks are the most vulnerable most of the time, because they don't have their items, and so they're the least likely to survive a bunch of burst damage, which Xin Zhao and Camille, they have a lot of CC, and in together they can do a lot of damage. So if we see Ryun playing disrespectfully again in the top lane, then that could just turn into another snowball.
Well, as I'm not sure when this game is going to start, though they might be having slight problems again. But once again, these two teams are trying to look for like the victory. 99 are trying to look to close this out, while BC is trying to look to take hold of this series back into their hands. But not sure what else to say other than how do you guys think? What do you guys think is the main lane that's going to be the deciding factor of this game?
Ooh.
Honestly,
After laning phase,
Alright, so
Yeah,
you
more or
go.
less.
it's down to team fights because I love watching Rampage team fights.
But it is time for us to leave this to our casters. It will be Backpack and Frez joining you guys once again. And once again, BC all trying to look to take back this series, while 99 are looking to close this game out. And they'll be joining you through the second game.
Yes. All right, guys, what's up? We have game 2 of Barely Competent versus Almost Calculated. So, Almost Calculated did take the first game, and let's see if, Barely Competent is able to bring it back this game. But I think me and Frez were talking, and we were like, we're not really feeling their comp too much. But I don't know, I'm not really feeling Almost Calculated's comps too much either. Like they don't have a tank. The only tank they have is Nautilus,
Exactly.
And, and it's support Nautilus, so he's really not going to be that tanky. So
yeah, I was a little bit. I'm looking at both these comps and I'm thinking, like both these comps are trying to do a lot. Like you have the comp for almost calculated is blue side, correct?
yes.
Right. So yeah, you have the comp for barely competent, where they have a lot of they have a little pretty good team fight between Orange and Brand, but then they also have like a lot of like siege potential with Ziggs and Jin as well. Where if we look at the side of if we look at the side of almost calculated, we got a lot of pick potential. We have the Varsar, we have the Syndra E that catch people, we have the Camille, we have Nautilus' entire kit. So I definitely feel like barely competent has the more superior team fight, but if almost calculated plays to their maximum pick potential, I definitely think they can run away with this game again.
I mean, they might have a little bit of pick potential in this mid lane. Xin Zhao trying to set up for a gank, went from his red straight to his mid, and here he goes. He's going right on a Nezergy, but he's just able to get that flash away. So actually, Different Cats might actually be in a little bit of trouble. He might be getting collapsed here as Kane has a little bit more EXP than him, going Raptors to red, but looks like everybody's just going to be going back to their respective jungles. I think Kane is actually trying to get a little bit of engage off, and yeah, they will actually be finding themselves in the jungle. Let's see who is able to win this. Derpy Cat's winning this. The slide on the Scuttler.
Well, you didn't need to
the help when he can, but Get Wrecked is here, and the tactical sweep getting first blood. Again, for almost calculated. Actually, Brandon's actually in a little bit of trouble. Daniel Flirt's able to stop for a little bit, but the Ignite is ticking down on Golf Supremacist. I think he will be fine, and he will be. So,
wow.
Wow.
So they say history repeats itself, and we're already starting to see the snowball begin on Get Wrecked. So I'd really like to see Derpy Cats try to play off Get Wrecked in the top lane, try to camp that ward, do exactly what he did last time. See if he's going to pay attention to the map. See if he's already got a ward down, we see that. But is he going to be paying attention to where his ward is, or is he just going to be focused on the CS?
Yeah, I mean, he is in a big wave right now, but nobody is going to be ganking him, so he should be fine for the time being. But that was very, very greedy from Amud, and actually an Anchor is going to be getting on a Biologist, and the Root going to be hitting as well. The Piercing Arrow not going to be able to get it, but the Hail of Arrows does! As the Key is able to pick up a kill in that bot lane for almost calculated.
Yeah, we talked about how much pick potential almost calculated has, and just right there we saw Jin alone. Brandon was backed because he wasn't in lane. So Jin being alone, he's not able to play that far up, especially when he doesn't need to. He has the range. He's got the Oh no! Yep, history repeats itself. Here we go. Top lagging, and that's going to be on the side of almost calculated this time.
Wait a minute! Oh my!
So it's not barely competent.
Woo! Let's go, boys. Let's go. So I want to talk a little bit about that jungle invade from a mutt. That was extremely greedy because Syndra had mid priority on Nezergy, and I mean, Kane really honestly just did not need to be there.
Exactly. When your mid laner is not pushing their mid laner, and not to mention Xin Zhao can completely 1v1 Kane early. There's no question about it. There's not really a reason for him to invade there, and he almost got out there, which is really, really concerning because Derpy Cats, instead of going for that final blow on the auto attack, he started cutting towards the Scuttlecraft to smite.
No, he was getting he was just getting the help, dude. He was scared. I mean, honestly, he would have been fine. Literally, one auto, Kane would have died. But
exactly,
I guess he just really
did
not.
Sorry, I guess.
Yeah, better safe than sorry. I mean, they got the kill anyway. You got it onto the Camille, which is exactly who you want it to be on.
Exactly.
Considering how, exactly. Considering how last game went. I mean, Camille has been pushing this entire time, and she's still up in CS.
Yeah, exactly. See Orange shoving in the lane as fast as he can, but he's just not last hitting. We see Camille going to the jungle. Orange didn't follow into the jungle, and despite Camille being out of lane, Ryan isn't really CSing that well, and that could be a very, very, very big concern, especially when you're against a very snowballing matchup. You're not going to be getting as many kills, and you kind of got to rely on that CS.
Yeah, you will have to rely on that CS. I mean, especially against a Camille. I mean, a Camille is just so good at scaling up, but actually, Ryan might be in a little bit of trouble, so Hookshot is going to be able to get onto an actual sweep to get that slowdown, but Ryan had to flash away. The Spear is able to get that slowdown, but nothing more is going to be happening here. Just a little bit of Aftershock proc, nothing much, but Ryan finally able to get out of a gank for once.
Yeah, and then we see the Kane starting to counter jungle the Xin Zhao as soon as he's spotted top lane. So, but that's typically what you want to do when you're
Brand!
Gang.
Not like this. The heal is going down, but actually Brand got the ignite down, and actually Gulf Supremacist might be able to live because he got the level up. The long con for Brand is if he had to blow both sums.
Oh, we just saw a lot of summoners blown there, but like I was saying, as soon as you see the enemy jungler show up in a lane that you're on the opposite side of, for example, we saw Xin Zhao gank top lane, Kane wasn't really in a position to gank there. We saw both of his lanes in the middle and the bottom shoving in. He wasn't really in a position to gank them. So typically what you want to do is that you want to end up taking camps away from their jungler. Since you know he's not going to be there, you want to at least get something from him since he can't be there for that gank. And Xin Zhao was not able to capitalize on that gank, and then Kane ended up getting free camps from it.
Yep. Actually, Ziggs is going to be coming up here himself. But
Interesting, but Warren doesn't have mana.
That is actually very interesting. I mean, Ziggs did have a little bit of push, but not as much as I thought. But actually, TP is going to be going down. Camille's trying to recall here. I think she might actually be able to get the Searing Charge. And actually, the Bellows Breath cancels it. As Nezuji is able to get himself a kill, finally.
Just when we thought Ziggs was wasting his time on that roam, she just barely didn't get out. That was like probably half a second.
Oh, the Anchor's going to be going down onto Gulf Supremacist, but the Root is not going to be going down. There it is, and the key is going to be able to get the kill. Derpy Cats is here, but Biologist just able to flash away from that gank, but Gulf Supremacist still went down.
They say that usually the color gets to take over the early game, but in these games, at least in this series, we've seen a lot of action from you, Backpack. Typically, you're not getting much of a rest here between both of these fights.
Yeah, there's a lot of skirmishes. I mean, both games, there's just been a ton of skirmishes going over and over again. It's actually, hey, yo, might be in a little bit of trouble. It's a call of the Force God going in the Statue Charge to put him in place, but hey, yo, was still able to get out of that. Very good roam from Ryan, but did not get anything outside of a flash and a heal. So maybe they'll come back to that mid lane later once that ultimate is back up for the Horn.
Absolutely, and like I said before, they have all the visions set up right now, but they're not using it properly. Ornn could have been spotted probably about 5 or 6 seconds beforehand.
Yeah, look at the
pink ward being in there. Exactly, like we have a pink in the river, like 2 pinks in the river bush. He could have easily been spotted. Camille easily could have communicated to Syndra, hey, he's running down ball lane, but did not decide to do so. So that flash on Syndra could still be there, and I believe he also popped heal there as well.
Yeah,
so
he
both
popped
subs
heal.
from Syndra could still be there. Yeah, because he would be able to just back off, no harm done. Or maybe it would still burn his ult, and even if he didn't, like, I'm pretty sure having both
Gulf
their sums is a lot
Supremacist
better.
is just eating every single hook known to man. Like he's not getting the message.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly
Oh,
what I was
actually,
talking about.
Ryan not getting the message as Derpycats is here. The hook's not going to be able, not actually finishing, as Derpycats is actually taking up a lot of the tower. Not going to be going down, though. Very, very failed dive there. Get wrecked. Tried to get the hook shot, but could not get the second, couldn't get the second proc. He couldn't get off the wall. So, very fortunate.
Mm-hmm. Now we're starting to see a lot of roams from the Ziggs, but we're seeing Syndra really starting to catch up on CS here. Ziggs is missing a lot of XP here, as that entire wave is going to be going right into his tower, and he didn't end up getting anything off the top lane. So, although that he is roaming a lot, I still think that he should be shoving his waves in completely rather than like sending only like a couple minutes in as the wave is coming into the lane. And it looks like that we're going to see a little bit of a dragon setup from almost calculated, but I wonder if the Kane is spotted. It doesn't look like he's spotted at the Croaks behind. But Varus is going to go check it out.
Might not be spotted. The key is going to be going check out. He is going to be pinged. King just able to shadow walk out of there, but actually Syndra is on the other side, trying to get a ball, trying to get the stun, but actually Yayo might be in a little bit of trouble as the ult's going to be going down. The Umbral Trespass, a Moot trying to get a kill onto him, but actually going to be flashing away as the Mega Inferno Bomb. Able to get that kill onto the Syndra. Syndra was caught behind a rock in a hard place there, got collapsed there.
Exactly. And 2 minutes ago, we just talked about how Ornn was walking down the river, and it wasn't communicated that he was missing in lane. And because of that, Syndra had to burn both songs. If Syndra had either heal or flash there, she would have been able to get out and just save her life. So that goes to show you how not having flash up is really, really critical. And then, you're never safe, especially on a champion with Syndra where you don't have that mobility.
Yeah, Syndra has absolutely no mobility. That's why you never really seen it too much in pro games outside of Bjergsen.
Yeah, Bjergsen Syndra is definitely quite one to watch.
Good amount of trading actually from Ryan. I don't know how he's ahead in XP, being 16 CS, 17 CS down. I mean,
like we said before,
he has priority.
Yeah, he was in that lane. He's constantly shoving it. It's just a matter of the fact that he's not last hitting the minions that are there.
Yeah, the Searing Charge going on to get Rick's comeback, but actually that is his escape route as the Hookshot going to be able to get into the ultimate coming down. There's the call of the Forge God. I don't think he's going to be able to get out of this, but he is able to knock up both of them. Ryan flashing away. Actually, Derbercat follows Flash, and Ryan just got back into range for no reason. There's the stopwatch with the Hookshot, able to get the stun and get wrecked.
Ornn was out right there. Derpycat's burnt his flash. I don't think he was going to quite get to him, but for whatever reason, Ryan hesitated on kiting back to his tower. He got greedy to get that kill in there, and that's what ended up costing his life.
Yeah, it did cost his life. He was going to be out. He was fine, but he went back into range. I think he tried to get a Bella's Breath proc in, but maybe he was on cooldown. That has happened. Like, you try to walk up to try to do an ability, and you walk up, and you're like, oh, wait, I shouldn't be here.
Yeah, exactly.
It's happened. It's happened.
Yeah.
It's
happens to the best of us.
Oh, yeah. Actually, Moots and
battle for the Scuttle Crab
here. It is going to be a battle for the Scuttle Crab, but actually, Umbral Trespass is going to be going down, but Derpycat's with a good ult himself. Here comes the TP from Ryan. He does not have Call of the Forge God. He is missing a lot of XP on that top side, too. So
I don't think he quite needed to TP there. I think that
he didn't.
Fine.
Yeah, he was fine. He was fine.
I would like to see a little bit of action coming from the branch in, because I did expect them to do fairly well into the Forest Nautilus, but they're just getting picked way too much from the Nautilus CC. Because
it's Brand. It's Brand's fault. He's always getting hooked. He's not able to do his damage. And,
exactly.
Like, he's not trying to poke either. Like, oh, but actually, Amita gonna be here. The hookshot gonna be canceled out, but Amita not gonna be able to get that W down. Not for the slow, but. Man, Kane actually has not ganked that much.
No, he's not.
Compared to Derpy.
We're starting to see in the fact that he's still not transformed. And I wonder how long
going to be going down. The ultimate power going to be getting down for a little bit. Actually, Nezuji trying to get the better end of this trade. He does have this Mega Inferno Ball, but actually back in the bot lane, Gulf Supremacists get caught again.
Yeah,
wow.
I'm sensing a common theme between all.
Biologist going to be getting dove here. Had to flash away, Cocaville. Oh, okay, it's gonna be fine. Yeah,
yes,
wow.
Like I was saying, I'm starting to see a common theme between all three lanes on both teams here, and it's a lot of positioning issues I've noticed. People getting caught, people overextended. They're not at the right place at the right time here.
Yeah, was that the
and
right
a lot
time?
of these deaths are preventable. Like, this game could easily be like 1 or 2 kills on each side here, but we're seeing both teams way too far out, and they're just not playing behind them anyways. Again, in a lane with Varus and Nautilus, you really, really want to be playing behind them anyways, because not only do you not get hooked from the Nautilus.
Oh, Ryan is actually getting the better end of this trade. The Call of Force got going in, but get wrecked. He's able to just flash away, but Ryan is taking a lot of damage himself. He actually needs to be pretty careful because that Camille is actually pretty bursty. Be back in the bot lane. Cocaville gonna be going down. That's finally the brand burst that we've been talking about. But a key trying to put the dancing shoes on, but not gonna be able to. His Gulf Supremacist able to get himself a kill on that brand. Finally, Searing Charge gonna be going in, but actually a beautiful ult from Get Wrecked. He's trying to get out of this. Won't be able to. Is Ryan actually able to live drinking that health pie? Ryan outplays the hell out of Get Wrecked.
Can you breathe? Take your time. You can breathe now. I think the fighting stopped.
Ugh.
But yeah, like that's
Oh, man.
exactly what I was talking about in the bot lane. Because not only can Jin proc his W off of his Q now, but Brand being in that lane just gives him way more opportunities to get that root off, get that bonus
Ooh.
damage, and pick off.
Derpy Cats might be in a little bit of trouble as he is going to be able to ult, but not going to be able to knock away back a lot. The ultimate power going down, and Ayo able to get himself a kill onto the Kane, but Ziggs got himself a kill himself, so both junglers going to be going down to the mid laners.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that neither of these teams have a lot of respect for you, Backpack. I think they're just trying to like tire you out and make you die of a heart attack or something like that. It seems like these fights are just not stopping. Both of these
Dude,
teams
Rampage,
really
man.
slow down.
Rampage, man. Rampage.
I would like
fun,
to see.
man.
Yes, absolutely.
Fun.
But right now, especially with the ball lead the lead that we see in the ball lane right now, I would really like to see Varus and Alice push that lane as fast as they can. I'd really like to see Zinzal start heading towards the ball lane, maybe pick up a sweeper, and start clearing those wards around that dragon, and maybe prep for a Mount Drake.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that the Drake hasn't really been getting targeted. I mean, it's just no one has really been going for it yet. And actually, wait, Coco might be in a little bit of trouble. They look first miss, but I mean, really, the thing about Brand is like you're trying to burst everyone down, but against a tank, you can't really burst them down at this stage of the game. You know, like in the early game, maybe. You know, but
like we saw Brand being really greedy for that harass early on, but we've noticed that he's really started to play a little bit too conservative now because it's no problem. It's no problem going in there for that WE harass.
Oh, the hook shot is actually going to be able to hit onto a Mud. The Call of Force guy going in, going right on, get wrecked, but a Mud still in a lot of trouble. The Umbral Trench Pass going to be going in. The Searing Charge not going to be able to hit anybody. Mud not going to be able to get out. Nezergy is here though with his Satchel Charge able to knock him back. For the time being, the Mega Inferno Bomb is up, though, along with Nezergy's Flash. He is trying to do what he can. The Mega Inferno Bomb able to get wrecked as low as he can. The Searing Charge able to hit. Hook shot out, but not going to be able to get out enough. It's actually AO with Siri sitting in the bushes, not going to be able to hit. There was two fights on two fronts. Ryan trying to run away. The ultimate power going down. Ryan trying to do what he can. The Bella's Breath Shield is not going to be up in time. As Ryan going to be going down, and, I mean, BC did lose the later end of that trade there.
Yeah, something I'd really like to see.
I mean, but
something I'd really like to see from AO and Stingo right now is that I've noticed on multiple occasions now, when he uses his ultimate, he has that Q cooldown up. Like his Q's ready to go. He does his combo, like Q, W, E, whatever. But he's doing it so slow that his Q is able to come up again before he presses R. And I feel like if he takes the time to use that Q and like start it going before he presses dart, he'd be able to not only do more damage with his Q, but get that extra spirit to get that extra damage. And it may not be making
Ghost of Premises might be in a little bit of trouble. He tried to just go way too far in because the Camille is here right now, the tactical sweep to get the slowdown, but actually a Mud is on the top side trying to do what he can to Derpy, but not going to be able to get wrecked. The hook shot is probably going to be up. There it is, the blast cone away from Biologist, but the tactical sweep is able to slow him down. He's trying to run away, and Biologist able to get hit by the anchor, so he might be in a little bit of trouble. The root going down, but actually Different Cats on the top side gonna be going down to a moot. Ayo is here, trying to do what he can, but the ultimate power ult just, you know, able to do what he can. Yeah. But actually Ayo does have double buffs, so Nezology does have to be safe, and in that bot lane, looks like Jim was able to get out of there. So that's good.
Yeah, exactly. And like I just mentioned, that Syndra, pressing R there against the Kane.
Oh, Call of Force guy going in on the get wrecked scum. Yeah, but not gonna be able to get it. Nezergy in a little bit of trouble though, as he is in the ultimate, but the heal is able to actually save. Get wrecked. Ryan is trying to run away. The stun is not up just yet. The Bella's Breath to try to get the shield as much as he can. Not gonna be able to get anything more though. Ryan, okay, whew. I thought he was gonna be getting hit by that stun, but he didn't. I mean, man, there's so much skirmishing going on.
This is a solo
in
cast
this game.
over here.
I mean, oh my goodness, 19 kills and 18-20. I mean, and no objectives on the map yet either. Like, no teams has hit towers.
Backpack, I think you got it from here. I'm just gonna go play Fortnite and yeah, peace out.
You trying to get your Twitch subscribers up, buddy?
Oh yeah, man. Twitch.tv/French, by the way. Follow me on Twitch.
Oh
Is
man,
that allowed?
just this shameless self-plug. Oh man. Hold on, let me drink some of my water. Hold on.
Oh boy, what a game, man! Holy crap!
Oh, actually, Ayo might be in a little bit of trouble. That's the W. Was able to knock him up. Ayo going down. I mean, ooh, saw the cane. Wasn't able to do much though. It's actually Derpy Cats finding a Mito here, but just getting what he can. Ziggs is collapsing, but Amud does not have the Amber Trespass, and he is going to be going down to Derpy. So maybe finally 99 will move towards that mountain. Okay, never mind. They're not.
I'm really surprised that the Mountain Drake has not been taken yet. How have Varus and Nautilus not gotten this tower? They're so far ahead. Varus is 4-1. That tower has not even a quarter of its health gone. Not even a quarter, let alone the fact that it should be gone already. But the fact that it's that healthy and that Jin and Brand almost have that tower is just absurd. They need to shove that lane as fast as they can, get Xin Zhao going for that Earth Drake, and then they can be there to help if needed. Xin Zhao should be able to solo that no problem.
Yeah, he can definitely solo that Mountain Drake. I mean, with the cane down, you thought, you know, yeah, it's time to go Mountain Drake, but they didn't. And
oh man, Scuttle Crab buffs, you gotta go for that first.
yeah, you gotta go for the Scuttle Crab. That's what's
Scuttle Crab is the new Baron.
Actually, the top laners are getting in a little bit of a fight here with Ryan. Not taking the better end of that trade. He does have TP, so he can TP back to lane if so pleases, but it's not a good sign that he's losing it. He rushed Deadman's Blade. I'm pretty sure that's not what you rush. But
I wouldn't really rush that into Camille.
Oh, actually, Chain of Corruption able to hit onto a Mudu. See if he's trying to get out of here. The Singer's done. Able to do what he can, but the ultimate power able to just absolutely wipe him out as Nezuji trying to do what he can on the backside. He is able to get a kill onto a key. He did flash over the wall, but actually Derpy Cats was there waiting for him. Here comes the curtain call. Not going to be able to shut down the curtains on anybody on 19-9, except for a key. But, I mean, they did get the Mountain Drake, so it's worth.
Absolutely, and with the score being 15-10 right now, we see a 6k gold lead in favor of Almost Calculated. Not only do they buy more kills,
wow.
Yeah, 6k. Like it's in a game that.
Oh, a beautiful anchor from Cocoville. The root gonna be going down. AO not gonna be able to do.
Are they going to Graves for this though?
Yeah, I actually thought they were gonna try to dive that.
I guarantee you, if Derpy had flash up, he would have won for it. 100%.
Yeah, that's a Derpy thing to do, right?
Yeah.
Actually, Moot might be in a little bit of trouble. He's 2 levels down on Derpy.
You don't want to fight that when you're 2 levels down. He's got to realize
I mean, his team is behind him, but it's just a little bit too much. I mean, it is a 4v3 though, so the team is here receiving charge to knock both of them up as Nezuji able to get himself a double kill, but Syndra is able to just run away. The Call of the Forge God is not up yet. There is no more engage coming from the side of BC, so they just have to back off here and take what they can.
What looked like to be such a favorable fight for Almost Calculated there. What almost was calculated there turned out not to be so calculated, as we saw the Kane 2 levels behind the Xin Zhao. We almost thought for sure he would have just been solo killed, let alone before his team came. And then not only was the team there for Barely Competent, but the team was also there for Almost Calculated. So I thought for sure that Almost Calculated was going to get away with that fight, but somehow Barely Competent was able to turn that around.
Oh, Golf Supremacist went way too far up again and got caught out again. The Call of Force God able to knock up, get wrecked, and he's trying to run away, but Jin not going to be going down. Ryan able to get himself a kill. So
1 for 1.
But man, that Camille does a lot of damage for 2 and 4.
It's absolutely. It's all on the Triforce team out. When you have that much damage coming in, not only with your Triforce because you got the Sheen, but the team after that auto attack reset, you have so many auto attacks in there. You got your normal one, then you got your Q, then you got your team out between that, and then you got your power Q that does true damage in there. You're just doing so much damage, and that's part of why she's such a great split pusher. I'd really like to see her in the bot lane right now trying to get that tier 1, because not only is she just stacking AD to do a lot of auto damage to turrets, she gets that reset on her Q, and the true damage from her Q champions actually procs on turrets as well. And that's what makes her such a great split pusher, and definitely way better than Ornn would be.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not entirely sure how Ornn in the side of Barely Competent is able to handle a Camille in the mid to late game trying to split push against them. I mean, it is definitely going to be tough, but, you know, it's definitely not impossible. So, dude, this... I got to give props to this this E-Sub Nezuji. I mean, he's doing very well, but actually
Quite
in
the Issa.
a little bit of trouble. Derpy Cat's trying to do what he can, but actually Saddle Walk out. Golf Supremacist is here, but he found himself on the wrong side of the map, but actually Nezuji is able to get himself another kill. And Biologist just on the top side of the map, just 1v1 and get wrecked, and it's about to be over. There it is. Okay. So now back to the bot lane. The Corrupting Arrow able to do what he can, but actually,
Red buff.
I mean, a move,
Derpy, the
that
flash!
Red buff. Yeah, Derpy. Flash, but he's in a little bit of trouble. Satchel charge. Nezuji trying to run away, but not going to be able to. With Derpy Cats is able to pick up the bounty, and Derpy Cats
2 levels on.
2 levels ahead. So Derpy Cats might actually be able to outplay this. The Call of Forge Guide is coming in, but the Pillar able to get that kill. So Derpy Cats did what he could, but I mean, yeah, it's definitely worth.
Well, look, to be such a poor play on Derpy Cats flashing in like that, it's almost nothing. He was able to not only take down Nezuji, but the fact that Nezuji was 8-1, that's so much shutdown gold for the team. And when you already have a 6k gold lead, that just adds the salt to there. That just gets them even way farther ahead. Not only gets Nezuji, but because he has 2 levels on the Kane, he's able to get him as well. And then ends up dying to the Ornn Brand later on, but with Brand being 2-6, I don't think a kill on Brand is that big of a deal.
This is the weirdest macro because Biologist, this is the second time he's up in this top lane. Like, he got 1v1 once. He went back up there by himself again and got 1v1 again.
Fool me once,
What do you
shame
know?
on you. Fool me twice,
What do
shame
you
on
know?
me.
Yeah. Fool me one time, shame
There
on
it is.
you. But
Right,
actually,
take
a
him to the
move.
cover,
And,
right?
oh, he actually canceled out that ultimate power with the beautiful Humble Trespass. He's actually doing a lot of damage. Nezuji is here. The Mega Inferno Bomb not up, though. He's trying to Satchel Charge and this Shadow Walk. Not going to be able to close too much distance, but the team is here and able to get that knock-up as Ryan able to pick himself up another kill as Varus and Nautilus is on the bot side just split pushing.
Yes, absolutely. Nezuji perfectly placing those bombs there. He could have went for one of two options. He could have went for the confirmed hit, or he could have threw it a little bit farther ahead of the Syndra just so that she would be forced to kite back towards the team, and that's just a way better way to secure the kill. I really like that. I like the fact that it wasn't just trying to hit her, but zoning her into her team or into Nez Energy's team is just way better.
Mahmoud in a little bit of trouble. He's trying to run away, but a key just way too much, way too fed.
We have 39
Way too much
kills in
damage.
26 minutes.
Yeah, this is a lot of fighting.
That is a lot.
This is a Rampage game at its core.
Yeah, absolutely.
And actually
We're
another
seeing-
Mountain Drake gonna be going down. There's surely 99 trying to do what they can, but the curtain call and the Call of Force Guide are coming in. The Call of Force Guide able to knock up 3 of them, but Gut Wreck is in the backline just doing what he can. The Golf Supremacy, he's gonna be going down. Nezuji trying to run away as well. He had to flash away. Couldn't even take the blast cone, and he's still gonna be going down. Ryan is doing what he can to his backline, but he's gonna be going down, and Camille is trying to get a triple kill, just running for this Jin, just chasing him down like an animal.
Yeah,
Look at this. The hook's not going to be able to hit, though, so maybe
oh boy, here we go again.
Wreck might have actually bit off a little bit more than he can chew. The flash forward, not going to be able to hit it, as Kane is able to get that kill.
Yeah, he's definitely very confident in himself with the ability to kill that Jin. We saw it multiple times at the top lane, but something I want to bring our attention to was in that last fight. I do believe Nezuji could have gotten out of that fight. Now, if we take our attention towards the Tribush and the bot lane and the Dragon, he was right on that blast cone, right? And Camille was right next to him. What I really would have liked to see was instead of him flashing over the wall into the bush, I would have liked to see him flash to the other side of the blast cone, not use the maximum flash range, but just to get to that spot of the blast cone and take that blast cone away from Camille, he might have been able to escape there.
Yeah, I was surprised he didn't do that. I mean, I don't know why in the world he didn't hit the blast cone. He probably would have been fine because Camille just used hook shot earlier. So
Yeah,
he would have been
Now,
fine.
in a game that's looking really back and forth, you see almost a 10k gold lead in favor of almost calculated 10,000 gold. Do you know what you can buy with 10,000 gold? You can get 3
An island.
Rabadons. You can get 3 Triforces. You can do a whole ton. Imagine that. Imagine 3 Triforces on Camille right now against that Ornn. Do you realize
I'll
how
build it.
absurd that would be? Obviously, we can go 3 Triforces.
I'll build it.
Exactly. But that's just
I'll build it.
an absurd amount of gold in a game that's that much back and forth. That really
Can you
goes to
buy
show you
6
how much
Sunfire
CSC
Capes?
first means.
Can you buy 6 Sunfire Capes though? That's the question.
I I don't think so. You can get 8
That's
last
unlucky.
whispers. 8 last whispers.
Yeah, but you have
On 5
6
people.
item slots. What are you doing?
Disperse it amongst your 5 people.
I mean,
that's
not
a lot
well,
of gold.
here's the thing, though. It is 10k gold, but guess who has a lot of the gold in BC's pocket? It's Ziggs. Like, pretty much everybody else is so behind, except for the Ziggs.
exactly.
Ziggs is actually 700 gold on his lane opponent. I mean, everybody else is...
Is there no way to
everyone
see how
around
much
him
gold
is-
he has?
He has a
I-
lot.
Don't believe
Yeah.
so. Yeah, but
Yeah,
think
yeah,
about it.
press
If you
X.
take away the Ziggs, not only are they 10k gold behind, you're absolutely right, Backpack, but they're 10k gold behind minus Ziggs as well. Like, Ziggs, if you take him out of the fight, they have absolutely nothing going for them. Absolutely nothing. So, I think that a way that we could see Barely Competent come back here is that if they're able to, like, make picks properly, like maybe pick someone off the Orn ulti, like right here, for example.
Here comes a pick. The Call of Force guy going in, but actually get wrecked. It's on the back line. He's doing what he can to Jin and Bram, but actually they are able to peel him off away, but get wrecked. Able to just run away with murder. And Amut is going to be going down for his sins as well. And he's trying to do what he... Biologist trying to do what he can, but not going to be much. This current call not going to be able to hit a lot. And, I mean, man, Barely Calculated is... That was a 4v5.
Yeah, I don't think they needed... They
Oh,
did
man.
see the Xin Zhao on the top lane, but I do think that they didn't really need to fight that. They had, like, the mid lane, they got no turrets under pressure. Their only turret up is all the way in their base. What I really would have liked to see there was they have the entire team rotate top, pick off that Xin Zhao, and then force the fight around the Baron and get that 4v5. They really didn't need to force that fight. We saw the Camille in the jungle right there. He was 100% spotted on that pink ward, so someone must have seen it. So I do think that they need to stop forcing fights right now, and they need to, like, create opportunities to have good fights. And we just saw another TP wasted by Orn after the Baron got taken. So there goes that pressure in the side lane.
Yeah, there goes that pressure. I mean, the entirety of Almost Calculated is just, honestly, just way too far ahead. I mean, look at the levels. Derpy is 3 levels up on Kane right now. I mean, it's getting to the absurd realm. But, I mean, can 99 actually close out this game? I mean, to be this far up and not close the game, you know?
You gotta wonder.
They had trouble last game. They had trouble last
exactly.
game.
That's something we brought up last game, with the fact that they were doing great snowballing their lead. This game, sure, they're ahead, but they're not as ahead, like, as you think here, because we see these fights, it really is back and forth. One team fight can change the entirety of this game. If Barely Competent's able to get an ace here, they're not only going to be able to get all the gold, all the shutdown gold that they need here, but they're probably going to be able to push 2, if not 3 turrets down there. And here's the pick that we're
Actually,
talking
Camille
about.
might be in a little bit of trouble. A lot of damage. The Call of Force God not going to be able to get it. The Curtain Call is going down. The Nautilus ult to knock up what he can. Curtain Call not getting too much, but actually Amut is here. Nautilus had to flash away the Deadly Flourish. Able to get onto Akia, and Akia is going to be going down, but actually Syndra went down to the Brand, or the Brand went down to the Syndra, rather. Orn begin that kill into the Nautilus, but actually all the while, Derpy Cash is just split pushing on that bot lane.
Yes, exactly, and that's just putting Xin Zhao on the bottom with no Baron up is absolutely lethal, because normally as a jungler you wouldn't want to show yourself bot lane, but with Xin Zhao, he's such a great split pusher. When the Baron not up, you don't have to worry about giving away that pressure in the top lane, because look at that. They just traded, they got a 2-for-1. They could have easily just shoved mid, but just Derpy Cats being in that bot lane forces their team to react to it. Although I still would have liked to see maybe one person deal with the Xin Zhao. Maybe send the Orn, or maybe...
Here comes the fight. The Mountain Drake is actually able to get on the BC, and Derpy Cats might be in a little bit of trouble, but Kane going to be going down. He's in the front line. Biologist going to be going down to the ultimate power necessary, trying to run away, but Derpy Cats is actually just going to be flashing for him. The audacious charge going right into Ziggs' face. Now Ryan might be in a little bit of trouble. The Searing Charge able to get the, able to just miss the stun. But actually, yeah, Ghost Supremacist trying to run away here. Doing what he can, but not a lot of damage is all. As the
But he's still gonna get it.
And yeah, get wrecked. Able to get that kill. Despite missing a lot of skill
for that
shots.
flashy flash play, trying to avoid that Brand stun. I'll give him that. He definitely tried predicting that, but Even though despite whiffing his E, whiffing his flash, he's still
Oh,
able
call
to
a
get away
force
with
guy coming in. Let's see what he can. 2-man knock up, and Derpy Cats is just saying, "Come at me, bro!" And he's trying to do what he can, but Ryan is actually really, really tanky.
I really think that Ryan should have waited on using that call of fortune because his team had like 6-second death timers. You know, if you wait for Jin and Kane to come up and Ziggs to come up, that ulti, like, look, if they had ulti
Oh,
right
the Deadly Flourish going on to Derpy Cats, and this is probably the fight that BC won, but yeah, Derpy Cats is going to be going down. The inhibitor not down just yet, and there it is. The curtain call going to be going down. Cocoville might be down for the count, but actually curtain call not going to be able to get it. The Mega Inferno Ball not going to be able to get it either. Netsuji could not get that kill as Cocoville runs away with his life, and oh man, wow, very close.
Okay, anyways, let's just take a brief refresher of what just happened. We've had a lot of fights going on the last couple minutes. So, just to recap, we have Almost Calculated taking 4 turrets. They increased their 10k gold lead to a 15k gold lead. They didn't ace twice. They aced them 1.5 times, pushed 3 inhibitors on that one push, and now they're just refreshing. So they got away with a lot there.
And they did get away with a lot there. And actually, Ryan extremely overextended here. I mean,
again, yeah, he's
Gulf
got...
Supremacist is trying to do what he can, but he actually is spotted on a ward. The hookshot not going to be able to get it, but Direct not going to be able to do anything else. After that, the Ornn is starting to come down. So maybe he's not as overextended. Gulf Supremacist might be in a little bit of trouble. So hookshot going to be able to get it. The pillar not going to be able to get it. And Gulf Supremacist tried to flash, but not going to be flashing away. Call of Force God able to come down, but Brand is still going to be going down. Amut is here trying to do what he can. The Bleach Reach able to get that knock up, and Nazarji gets that kill, but Gulf Supremacist dies. But I think that's honestly pretty worth this. A Cinder Spear actually just beautiful stun from Ayo. I mean, and that's just happened over and over again.
Yep, this game, we're just seeing a lot of positioning issues on both sides of the team, but especially...
Oh, okay, the anchor didn't hit. I mean, they have 3 inhibs. I mean, Almost Calculate can just kind of take a back seat here and watch BC's base crumble around them as they really cannot do anything. The Blaze Reach able to get that knock up on the Derpy. They're trying to do what they can, trying to clear these waves. The Humble Trespass going on Derpy, but I don't think this is what the Kane wants. The Blaze Reach able to knock up 2 of them, but he's still going to be going down. Cocoville is able to get that kill. Biology trying to do what he can, but the GA is going to be popped, and Turret is going to be going down very shortly. Biology trying to do what he can. He is actually able to get that kill, but then trying to do what he can, and actually Netsuji is able to get that kill as Jin goes down.
Can Ziggs clutch it?
Can Ziggs clutch it? Netsuji is trying to do what he can. He is actually able to get 1 kill, so maybe it is not the end just yet, but it's becoming closer and closer. Oh man!
Holy! Can Netsuji, the
Actually,
E-sub...
I think this is a game over. They can't do anything.
Boy.
Their Nexus is just round and around.
All supers in that.
That is gonna be a
Williams.
good game. Going over to Almost Calculated 2-0ing, barely competent. Oh man.
Oh my god. Shout out to Fifi, by the way. We forgot to give you that shout out last game. I'm not gonna forget this time.
I got all right. Hey, who do you think the MVP is throughout the series? Because Get Wrecked didn't do too good game 2. I gotta give it to Derpy Cats too. I gotta give it to my boy Derpy, son. Come on, man. He did some work he did some work all series. Come on, man.
Yeah, both games he did really, really good. But something I really, really would like to draw attention to that really when I noticed was Aki on Vars that game.
Aki?
He had such a big lead in the ball lane, just completely took Bran and Jin out of that game. I guarantee you if Jin and Bran were super, super fed and they weren't 2-11, 3-5, that would have been a completely different game.
Yeah, if that Brandon continually get caught up by Coco's great hooks, I think that lane might have been different, but we are going to be sending it over to the analyst desk to have a closer look at this series, and GG to Almost Calculated. So I'm backpacking. That's
Derpy Cats is looking for a girlfriend.
Derpy Cats.
Okay, welcome back to the analyst desk. We have finished the series between VC and 19-9, unfortunately for VC, but wow, that game was looking so even and kind of well matched. What do you guys think it went wrong?
It just some bad fights. Just continually taking bad fights and just losing them. Better team fighting and better coordination, better macro from 99.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean that's definitely the truth. Kind of unfortunate for BC, but we actually did see signs of life. But I mean, there was that quite unfortunate. How do you guys think that kind of like, even though we didn't see too much action in the top lane, how do you guys think that like Sindra and Camille, who didn't see much action until later in the game, kind of got ahead?
I mean, the biggest thing is that Camille is a carry top, and so they're gonna have a big damage advantage, obviously, over the tank and the Ornn in the later stages of the game. So although the Ornn Camille was kind of even, as in Ornn wasn't getting killed every 2 minutes like happened in the last game for Ryan, the Camille still had a huge CS lead, and then eventually they did get that tower because of the pressure from Xin Zhao. So it was just, once again, top lane sort of helped to take over the game for 99.
Well,
But I definitely like the Ornn pick more than the Gangplank pick, though. It worked out way better in the laning phase, and Ryan played it really well within the fights as well. A lot of those Ornn ultimates were good. They were just too far behind, or positioning was off, and Camille got a really good flank, or both.
yeah, definitely. I mean, 99 did kind of utilize their team much better than BC, I would say. Though BC did kind of seem like they could win a few of these matches. These fights in the game. Unfortunately, they ultimately lost. But this is now the time. What do you guys think? Who do you guys think did the most out of the game? Who do you guys think is the MVP, the person who basically took this game into their hands?
I'm gonna give it to Derpy Cats. Like he controlled the top lane in game one, and even got those ganks. This is the jungler for 99. The casters already kind of touched on it right at the end there, but he controlled the game in both games. He looked really good on the Zinja. He had some good flanks, or at least did a really good job at getting onto the Ziggs and onto the Jhin in game two. And then game one, he got the Irelia at that lead. That just kind of snowballed out of control. So I'd give it to Derpy Cats. I would give an honorable mention to Aki and Coco in the bot lane, though. Those Nautilus hooks were really good, and then the Varus follow up in game two.
But you,
Yeah, I
Tiger?
agree.
Yep.
Derpy Cats, he, like, obviously it's easy to say Get Wrecked performed super well in game one, which they did, but without Derpy Cat's early gank in the top lane, I don't think that the matchup would have been that favored for Aurelia. And even in game two, the game that we just saw, the Xin Zhao early gank on mid did apply pressure, and just the early pathing and the ganks, and there's just so much pressure applied by Derpy Cats that it's hard to not give it to him.
Yep. Well, I got nothing else to say other than that. Congratulations to 99 for getting not an easy, I would say, for the second game, but a quick and easy 2-0 against BC. So, do you guys have any last thing to say? Last words?
Yeah. Just tip for solo queue.
Okay.
Kind of saw that. But yeah, just
All right, think you cut out.
Yeah, I mean, slight problems here, but unfortunately, Syncos will not be able to finish that thought, as on behalf of all the Wizen kind of staff, we thank you for tuning in for Wizen. Be sure to tune in tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, for Dominate League. It's LK versus L4S being casted by Mojo Man and Zenith if you want to see those players. That'll be it for me, as if you got anything else to say about Tiger.
Nope, I'm good.
And thank you for tuning in.